Here we are live coming at you from the energy capital of the world here in Houston, Texas for the 7th edition of the 2025 Geosteering World Cup. Thank you guys for joining. The competition is going to be absolutely fierce. We have over 300 contestants all across the globe, all competing to take in the gold. I am joined by a wonderful crowd. So we have our esteemed co-host this year, the Sean Kimyagar, who is the founder and CEO of Energy Basics. Sean, welcome on the show.
Thank you, sir. Happy to be here. It's an honor. Like, I've been a fan of the Geosteering World Cup for years, seeing the different iterations of it. Last year was awesome.
Yep.
Happy to be here with you.
Absolutely. We're so thrilled to have you.
Happy to be here.
Just a bit of a pre-show warning. This is going to be a giggle fest.
It's going off the rails real fast. But this is the most professional it's going to be.
We're going to stay in zone. We're going to keep it clear. We're going to stay on track. And we're also joined by the amazing Carlos, who has been a wonderful help in making us make sure that the GWC continues happening. Carlos, welcome aboard. Are you excited?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Jonas. Thank you so much, Sean.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for participating on the new GWC 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be absolutely stellar. We have a very impressive lineup of featured speakers throughout the entirety of the programming. We'll actually start off this first half of the segment. We'll be interviewing people all across the globe, covering how geosteering and operational challenges are being faced all across the globe. We'll be hosting guests from ADNOC, from Devon, as well as YPF, kind of getting a global perspective on, well, how can geosteering improve across different basins? So we'll have a wonderful conversation there, and then we're also going to have some other guests joining us from all over as well. Before we get started, we want to give a massive, massive thank you to our amazing sponsors. Without their help, all of this would not be possible, so we are very thankful and gracious. We'd like to give a special shout out and recognition to Edge Systems, as well as our other sponsors, Source Geosteering, now Geos, Innova Drilling and Intervention, Geo Expro, who's also a media sponsor, helping us spread the great word of the GWC, Columbine Corporation, as well as Beloy. So thank you all so much for joining. And Sean, what are you most excited about for this year?
I'm most excited about how international this competition is. I mean, it's first of all, it's 300 plus people from all around the world participating, and the numbers are actually really, really cool. So we're in Houston, so we sometimes you have your blinders on and you see the folks around you only. But when you look at some of the participants in this year, we have about 16% of the participants from the US, which you may think it was going to be 50, 60, 80%, but it's 16%. We got Algeria coming in at the second with 15%, 14% for Canada, 11% from Argentina, and then we have Nigeria, Colombia, Saudi, UAE, Venezuela, Norway. We're looking at 11, 5, 4, 3%. So lots of great people, competitors from all around the world, and it's the international part of it that I'm really excited about.
Oh wow, no, that's phenomenal. Yeah, and I know we have a massive showing from competitors in Algeria. That's something that we were kind of surprised to see. That was a huge spike. That was this year. So it is absolutely going to be fierce. No one is safe to say. So it is for anyone to take home the gold in this year's competition. But
the gold
right here. So this is our wonderful 2025 Geosteering World Cup trophy. It'll be split into 2 different rounds where we will take a combined score, and then that ranking will then determine who is the champion. And so as we build towards that, Carlos, what are the rules for this year's Geosteering World Cup?
Yes, Julian, we have several rules, and I'm going to read it to you so you can understand the rules. Like,
say it slowly so we can understand.
Okay.
Wait, what was that?
We can do it. I put actually colors on the rules so you can see.
I like colors.
The idea is normally to be consistent, high-level performer will be the key to winning the championship.
Right.
So 1 Geosteering World Cup champion and 3 regional prizes will be awarded. So 1 winning and 3 regionals.
Okay.
So South America, Europe, the rest of the world, they're also going to have the winning too. So you will be steering, as you mentioned, one unconventional and one conventional well from different basins. So it's not going to be the same place, it's going to be different basins. The competition will be judged by average of success score, which will be calculated by 75% of the sum percentage, and 25% will be RP,
Okay.
which means it's radio based on the maximum RP possible. Don't try to be like a Ricky Bobby, go fast. You can be on zone because it's
so
75.
no shake and bake?
No shake and
Fair
bake.
enough.
Maybe a little.
A few things that they're changing this year. I mean, thank you again for everybody's coming back. And from the new competitors, welcome back. The competitors will be steer wells in new basins with new tools and new seed reduction in RP while sliding. That's a new thing. So a mild adjustment will lead to a short slide section, while a more aggressive approach on the slide will take a longer to implement. So more space on the MD. So during the slides, your RP will decrease or reduce dramatically. So be careful with micro steering and the roller coaster interpretations. So always be careful with the 75% and 25% the RP that you're gonna do.
Right.
So to access the projects, you will need to use your solo credential for the World Cup, email the same credentials that you use for the training project. That's the regular normal credential. Data is going to be automatically pushed into the projects every 2 minutes.
Okay.
So keep in mind, you have 2 minutes to think and know where to go. DLS restriction will be applied 15 DLS, dock leg severity, before landing, and 5 DLS after landing. Do not forget to change it in your project if you have to. Each well will take about roughly 30 minutes to complete. So again, it's going to be fast, so be ready. Different tools and logs will be used for different wells, so be aware of that one too. Please do not delete or add objects to the projects. Working in geosteering mode only. Adjust interpretation 1, place target lines, and wait for the data push. What you can do anything with your interpretation. You can include adding, removing dynamic logs and all the other good stuff.
Absolutely.
Anything else that you think that we need to add it to the rules?
For sure. So it is imperative, do not rename any wells or objects inside of your project. Keep it all the same. You are, however, more than able to change things such as the color, the track, the color fills, things like that, right? But be sure not to rename the wells or the object, because that's how it's going to be pushing the data and recognizing the well. So that's one of the more important ones. Like you mentioned, you can do anything you want, right, in terms of changing the interpretation, where you are, but work with one target line. Don't create multiple different target lines. Work off of that singular one to then communicate all of those different changes. So those are kind of some of the things that I would also recommend as well on top of that.
Yeah, and the rule number 1, have fun and enjoy it.
Exactly.
There you go.
That's what it is.
Have fun. And this is going to be a very interactive stream. So we're going to have a series of different poll questions that we're going to have throughout the entirety of the show. You may have noticed already on YouTube, we've already posted our first poll, which is going to be, what is the one data type besides a gamma ray that you wish you had for steering? Would it be mud logs? Would it be resistivity inversion, seismic? And if it's other, please let us know in the chat. We have everyone here at the Roji offices that are monitoring, keeping track, engaging with you also. We'd love to hear from you guys on what is sort of that dream data type that you'd like in addition to gamma ray. So absolutely. Well, sounds like we have everything kind of set up here. Let's talk about the unconventional well overview, right? What do people expect for this actual well? So for round 1, it is going to be the unconventional well. The geological prognosis is going to be the Charlie Lake Formation. So it's going to be in our neighbors, you know, over to the north in Canada. It's going to be based in Alberta and British Columbia. It's going to be an upper Triassic age reservoir. So we're expecting quite a bit of heterolithic cyclic sequence, right, that's been deposited in sort of shallow restricted marine environments. Kind of lithology to expect, lots of dolomitic sandstone. So Dolomites. This is going to be a lot of diagenesis that's playing into it, so it could be a little bit of a tricky formation. You're also going to get some anhydrite, some gypsum, right? So lots of salts. It might be a little challenging. But your hydrocarbons, primarily, they're going to be within that dolostone, right? So kind of in those sandier beds within the environment. In terms of your depositional analog, this is going to be very similar to kind of an arid or drier type of marine system, right? Think of a Shark Bay in Australia or in the Persian Gulf. Very similar analogs. So that's where you're going to see a lot of tidal flats and evaporitic cycles that are present in the area.
Okay, interesting enough. I did my undergrad in Abu Dhabi, and one of our guests coming up is from ADNOC. So these environments is basically what we worked on during undergrad, and a lot of folks at good people at ADNOC work on this as well.
Oh, that's exciting. Yeah. And it's crazy, right? I mean, there's so many, even though yes, geology is quite, it changes a ton from basin to basin. There's actually so many different analogs in complete opposite parts of the world as well. Yeah, absolutely. In terms of some quick facts here, so your heterogeneity, you're going to have a very thin target. We're talking 3 to 7 meters. So you're looking at only a handful of feet, right? And it's going to be bounded by a very hard anhydrite with a distinct low gamma ray value. So when you're geosteering, you're going to look for those low gamma values to help you stay in the zone. In terms of dip variability, it's going to be very subtle, but there are some potential faults in the area. So this could be also a challenging reservoir, not just from a stratigraphic perspective, but also structurally as well. So you may have some abrupt gas shows that pop in. You'll see some log offsets, and then of course it'll increase the risk of leaving zone. So that's something that we may want to pay attention to as well. Carlos, any kind of tips and tricks for round one or unconventional well?
Not like we talking earlier, just check with the RPs, check when you're sliding because that's a new thing. Check with your data, just don't rush. Just believe what are you doing and you're good guts.
Right.
And they want to take it to the sweet spot.
No shake and bake.
No shaking bait.
I mean, the whole show is just a couple of hours. You're saying, like 30 minutes ish.
Yeah.
So just focus on it, pay attention, and you'll be done with it soon. Just stay in zone.
Right. Absolutely. No, so it's going to be a fun challenge.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll start with the unconventional well. That'll be round one. The second one, that'll be a conventional well. So plot twist, that one's going to be a coal seam. So really excited to talk about that one. Lots and lots of different things over there, especially with gas becoming more and more prominent. So that'll be an interesting one. I know we're about 3 minutes out from the first data push. So this will be when the first round starts. So I know that we have our entire team waiting on standby to start executing that data, pushing it through to all of our 300 plus contestants all around the globe. To compete for the first well. So be sure, if you haven't started already, right, grab a quick bite to eat, maybe
Like real quick.
Yes.
Like you got 2 minutes. like a bite.
Quick little snack. Actually, Sean, what's your kind of go-to drink when it comes to long nights of looking at geology?
Yeah, Celsius. Yeah. I think I've built a tolerance to it. I used to get jittery with half a can of Celsius before, but now it's it's a good water replacement.
Now you're just cruising.
Now it's just cruising. How about you?
Yeah, I would say coffee. For the
Okay.
most part. Nice, black coffee.
Okay.
Sometimes a Celsius if I'm feeling a little spicy.
Carlos?
Go with juice.
Go juice.
Coffee with Coke. You just mix it up and you just drink it. Diet Coke.
Diet Coke.
Yeah,
Of course.
You got
you
to
have
keep
to
the
sugar. You understand?
Yeah.
My body's a temple, right?
Yeah. Everything we just said, and it just proved that these are temples you're looking at here.
I really like a nice bite of kale with my coffee.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we're about to start pushing data. I know that we've got Pavel over in Calgary who's going to start sending data very shortly to y'all. And as a reminder, it is data that will be coming in every 2 minutes. So it's not super fast, but also you have enough of time to make decisions, right? Make those micro adjustments. Like Carlos was mentioning, no abrupt changes in the target line. Yes, staying in zone is 75%, but there's the other part of it, right? Maintaining a high ROP. If you do sharp changes, your ROP is going to drop. If you do kind of incremental adjustments, you could also be oversteering in a way, right?
Yeah.
If you're like a hyper splitter in a way. Carlos, have you had any experience with that in terms of super splitting when it comes to geosteering interps?
I mean, it's all depends. It's how you're familiar with the area, how is it. I mean, in this one, I can see probably it's going to be a mix.
Yeah.
That you have a lot of segments and some probably long segments and a small segment because it's 30 minutes.
Yep.
So you have to be kind of cautious too.
Exactly. Oh, breaking news. Huge Roji report just came in. The data started pushing.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum. So hopefully everyone is in Star Steel. You'll see the first round of data that's being pushed. And we'll be kind of tracking results and polls as we kind of go. So we'll have different portions where we'll step over to a new portion of the set. Sean, we have a bit of a sports center that's happening on this episode.
We sure do.
Yeah.
We sure do. Yeah, we're going to move over in a bit, and
Yeah, should be exciting. We'll share more with you all soon.
it's going to be a fun couple hours. if you're geosteering, pay attention, focus on that. If not, you're still going to have fun.
Exactly. And to kick us off, we are joined by our first guest for this stream, none other than a fantastic Roji supporter for a long time, who's also based in the Middle East. We are joined by Nader Gurgis from ADNOC, who is a specialist over there. Lots of experience in terms of steering, in terms of geology, and all things that have to do with rocks. Here to join us, Nader. It is a pleasure to have you on the show, and we're looking forward to it.
Hello, good morning, Julian, Sean, and Carlos. Thank you very much for having me on the session today.
Another.
Absolutely. Ahleen, how's everything?
All good, all good. Just came back from work.
Oh, that's right. It's like 8 p.m. there, isn't it?
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I
well,
think
thanks for being
before we
on
start,
late at night.
yeah, before we start, I would like to thank you for giving the opportunity for the community to be part of the Geosteering World Cup. It's really a great idea to gather the community, energize the community, and compete and also having fun at the same time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Appreciate you saying that. It's like we said earlier, it's the fact that there's so many folks from around the world competing and joining us like yourself. This is what makes this competition special. So appreciate you joining us from Abu Dhabi from your evening time.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Absolutely. It's all about building a community all around the world. No, thank you so much for joining, Nader. So, to kind of kick us off, I'm really curious to share with our viewers, how did you become a geoscientist? And more importantly, the thing that everyone's dying to know, what is your favorite rock?
Actually, I never planned to be a geoscientist. I've always been hoping to be an engineer, and I graduated from an engineering school with a degree in electronics and robotics. But my first job out of university, I was recruited by Schlumberger, and I became a wireline engineer. So never had any clue about wireline tools or logs, nothing related to geology. But again, I had to learn a lot of the basics. And wireline logs, you are actually a lucky engineer if you work in the logging business, because you are the first one to get to see the logs before anyone else. We've been in many situations where we were on exploration wells or very important data that's acquired, and then you have to deliver the good news to your company man, looking at the resistivity, looking at the porosity, and delivering the good news. So again, it was a really good starting job for me as a wireline engineer, and I worked in the field in Canada, in Egypt and Indonesia for like 8 years in the field chasing rigs. And then I moved to the office where I became a petrophysicist by nature, looking at logs. And petrophysics is also a very interesting domain because it's something in between geology and reservoir engineering. You need to integrate a lot of the data from geology and also have a very good understanding of the reservoir engineering basics. So for modeling the reservoir, rock typing, saturation modeling, I have a really good affinity and love to geology. It's really fascinating seeing rocks, how these rocks were deposited millions and millions of years ago. So really good to connect the dots between logs and geology and how logs can describe geology. For my favorite rock, not because I worked in the UAE, I've worked in a lot of locations on clastic and carbonate reservoirs, but clastic reservoirs, they have their own problems, a lot of complexities. You go inside the channel, you go outside of the channel, calculating V shale, a lot of lamination, so many problems. But working on carbonates, I've been very lucky to be maybe in the world of carbonates here in the UAE. You see really like creatures, like full creatures. You see the rudest, you see the vugs, you see the fractures, the faults, the grainstone. So it's really fascinating to look at thin sections and integrate all the geology, the diagenetic overprints, integrate all of the core data with the logs to have a good a static model that you would take later to simulation to plan your wells and do the FDP optimization and place the wells in the sweet spot. So I've been really fortunate. I love my job. Probably if you ask me now, I love my job more than if I would have imagined myself as an electrical engineer.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think so. Because you mentioned Rudy, so I did my undergraduate degree in Abu Dhabi at Petroleum Institute, now part of Khalifa University. I don't know if Thomas Stoiber is still at KU or not, but one of my professors there, he was one of the top, maybe first or top couple of rudist experts around the world, which is something that only geologists appreciate for that kind of an expertise. Yeah. So shout out to Thomas Stoiber.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Nader.
Yeah, no, and I know that carbonates, right, they're sort of described as living rocks, right? Lots of complexity, very challenging rocks. But also that brings us very nicely into our next question, right? We talked about kind of the challenges and heterogeneity when it comes to classic reservoirs, as well as the challenges inside of carbonate reservoirs. In your opinion, Nader, what do you see as kind of the largest challenges to operators in the Middle East when it comes to onshore unconventionals?
Maybe I'll start on the conventional and then I'll move to the unconventional because I mean the Middle East have the base for all the reservoirs are all conventional, mostly clastics and carbonates as well. Again, giant fields, you can find all the problems in the world. Early breakthrough of water, faults, fractures, complexity on the geology, on the structure, and also on the stratigraphy, and on the micro scale as well. And we are blessed again with these large fields here, and it comes with their own challenges. A lot of wells, you drill a lot of wells, and it's not always easy to get the right insights on how to optimize the water flood or optimize your recovery. So again, there is a lot of experience here in the Middle East on the conventional reservoir. Again, very complex operations. On the unconventional reservoir, again, it's an early, we are maybe a bit of a laggard into the unconventional reservoir. We have a lot of unconventional properties and resources in the Middle East. But we've started a bit later the exploration and the development after North America. North America have been a leader for the last maybe 20, 30 years on the unconventional. They've done a lot of really good optimization on well spacing, on proppant, really optimizing the drilling and increasing production, reducing cost, increasing recovery. In the Middle East, again, we have a lot of efforts to develop our unconventionals. We are also partnering with many of the top leaders in the unconventionals from North America for the technology transfer. So a lot of plans to develop our unconventional reservoirs in the Middle East and in the UAE in particular, and a lot of big plans for that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, and it makes total sense. Yeah, and Nader, right as we kind of wrap up, very curious to get your thoughts. Do you have any recommendations or tips and tricks for our competitors on the Geosteering World Cup?
No, I think the first thing is to have fun. It's a competition to have fun. Use all your experience, your experience on the platform as well to do the best decisions, and at the end, being part of the competition is already a great success. I wish all the geosteerers the best of luck, and I'll be watching all evening the real-time game.
Perfect.
Absolutely. For sure. Well, thank you so much, Nader. Shukran ktir for joining us.
Sir.
Yes, I know that it's very, very late over where you are in the Middle East, but we're so thankful for you to join us and be our first of many distinguished guests that will be on this stream today.
Thank
Absolutely.
you very much, and thanks for having me, and wish you all the best. Again, it's a great initiative, and wish the best to all the contenders. Thank you very
Nader,
much.
for Saeed. Have a good day. Have a good evening.
Good evening.
Thanks.
Absolutely. Thank you. All righty. We are approaching the poll 1 results. So we will be looking at kind of the results here on what we were asking in our general chat. And while we do that, while we get the information on the poll, we have a fun little bit that we're going to do.
We want to point out that there's nothing alcoholic in any of these drinks. However, every time we have a poll result announcement, we have a mystery drink that it's not mystery to me because I can see it. He doesn't know what it is yet.
Right.
Yeah. Want to have a sip?
Let's do it.
You can't look at it. You just have to drink it.
Alrighty. Here we go.
I don't know what it tastes like either.
But it smells interesting.
Does it?
Yes.
Oof. Ching ching.
Chin chin. Alrighty. It's red liquid. It's nice vintage.
This right here, we are looking at a Cobra Kai. Can we say that?
Maybe not.
Bad. The flavor is it's bad A cherry. I'll let you fill in the blanks. All right, we're looking at Cobra Kai.
Love it.
Get you some.
Yeah. It's got, it's kind of got this nice oak body to it. It kind of feels, like a cask.
Ooh.
Really, it really awakens the nostrils a
Yeah.
little bit.
No, it's you can really taste the Cobra in there.
Oh wow, yeah, that is quite proud. Actually, I do kind of like it though. It's not bad. It kind of feels like a Celsius minus the caffeine.
Yeah, it does wake you up in different ways.
So yes, throughout the entire show, you will see Sean and I kind of put ourselves and sort of suffer with these different drinks for entertainment. So we just got our poll 1 results. So what is the one data type of log besides gamma ray that you wish you had for geosteering? So we had mud logs that came in at about 18%. Resistivity inversion, that was at 49%. So that seems like that is the most popular
That makes sense.
For everyone that is on the show. Seismics is 18%. Kind of breaks our hearts. And then other as well. So we had about 14%. So it looks like most people.
I wonder what other was, but
Yeah.
okay.
Well, for sure. And we can actually track that here.
Oh, how about
So let's see. In the chat, do we have any thoughts?
Yeah, if you had other, just put it in the chat.
Absolutely.
What your other, just put other in all caps so we can see it pretty quick.
Absolutely.
And then what your other data type is besides gamma mud logs, resistivity inversion, and seismic.
Absolutely. And now We've been streaming data for about a couple minutes now. We've had a few different data pushes since 10:45. Let's already go ahead and check into the leaderboard, right? Let's see how people are actually doing throughout the competition. So we'll be tracking everyone live throughout the entirety of the competition. So these are the different places. So we can see here that the top 20 players are at the top of the screen, right? So we're looking at, we have Team NP, which is at 76.4. We have Valderrama, that's in second place, and then we have Rozone, who is in third place.
Okay.
Yes. So Rozone is a interesting competitor for those that don't know.
Oh.
Who do you think Rozone is?
Can't be Roji, can it?
I mean, maybe.
Is that fair competition? I mean, yeah, this is totally a fair competition here.
I mean, it could be Carlos behind the camera.
I see Carlos back there. He looks pretty innocent.
He looks pretty dialed in, you know.
And on that note, like just a quick shout out to everyone from behind the camera that you can't see right now. We have Christina, Mark, Carlos, Cody, and Josh behind the camera. There's a whole operation. We're just the monkeys talking here. But yeah.
Exactly. We are just yapping. So we're seeing that all of these scores are changing in real time. Oh, would you look at that? In sixth place, we have Arat Sabirov, who is our world champion from last year. So we have previous contestants that are in the competition. Absolutely.
Very cool.
So we've got Arat that's in sixth place. Looks like we got Big Rig Ron that's in fourth. What a name!
I was hoping for some. Wait, who like I what was it last year? Big Crunchy or someone like that?
I think so.
Yeah, I was hoping for a Big Crunchy type. It seems like Big Rig Ron. Welcome.
Yes, Big Rig Ron is actually the top performer who is in zone the most. And then we have Siege, who is in first place. That is the fastest ROP. So it's still anyone's competition. With that, we are also going to launch our second poll. So in the chat, we are going to do a little bit of fun geosteering here.
Okay.
Yeah. So if geosteering had an official snack, what would it be? Would it be coffees and donuts? Would it be energy drinks and chips? Would it be trail mix? For everyone from U of H, they know about trail mix when we went over to Big Bend. And then pizza. Usually it's always pizza.
It's always pizza.
Yeah. Which one's your favorite?
Not too. Oh, pizza.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah.
Pizza rolls or bagel bites?
Oh, pizza. How about just like pizza?
Pizza.
Yeah.
Is Little Caesars?
Definitely, yeah. Or if they are sponsors along with Edge and other companies, then pizza.
Exactly. So yeah, we'll be continuing to do these polls. Be sure to interact with us in the chat as we kind of continue on it. And I know we're getting ready for our second guest that will be joining us soon from Devon Energy. It'll be Garrett Hickman, who is an operations manager there, who will share more kind of on some of the challenges that the onshore unconventionals are facing and sort of what the future direction will be. So as we kind of wait for that, we can already dive in and start looking at some of the different players. So one of the things that we'll also be tracking throughout the competition is all the different kind of results. So what we can do is dive in and start looking at some of the real-time wells. So we're going to choose here, player 007, because I'm a big fan of James Bond. Sean, who's your favorite James Bond actor?
Oh, it's Craig. Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig?
100%.
I respect that. That's
Yeah.
a good choice.
His the first action James Bond.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
I grew up with Pierce Brosnan. I loved it. But once you see Daniel Craig and you go back to Pierce Brosnan, as much as I enjoy it,
Yeah.
All the cheesy lines gonna stick with you. Carlos does not agree. Well, who's your guy? Sean. Yeah. Listen, listen. My Sean is literally because of Sean Connery. So, and also, when is Sean Connery's birthday? August 25th. So,
You're kidding.
Nope.
Oh, there you go.
Purely accidental.
Sean, I think you could be the next James Bond.
I'll work on my accent.
I love it. I'm more of a Pierce Brosnan fan
Okay.
myself, so, but yeah, I mean,
Suave.
absolutely.
Cool.
For sure. So hopefully everyone can see our screen here as we're kind of sharing more about some of the different players. So we're looking at 007's screen over here, kind of looking at the different interpretations that we have. And we'll be kind of showcasing all the different results as we go.
Are we sharing that?
Absolutely.
Nice.
We are live.
Oh, very cool. Perfect. We're live. We'll do it live.
So here we're looking at player 007. When we're looking at our gamma ray, we can see that we're starting to stay in zone. We can see the different type wells that are being used. What's fascinating here, right? We have two different type wells. So this is a good highlight of multi-type well geosteering. Oh man, what's that really complicated thing? Lateral facies variations. Do rocks change, Sean?
Every now and again.
I mean,
Like it depends. Also, wait, we're doing unconventional now, right?
we are doing the unconventional.
Okay, so maybe a little less changes right now, but still, yeah.
But still, you can have that heterogeneity, right? So when we're talking about it in the geological background, we're expecting some sandstone, some dolomite, and then of course we have that hard anhydrite that's bounding the top of the zone of interest, right? So we can see, as player 007 was interpreting, we can see that there's some different structural changes here, right? So we can see that there's a bit of a shift in the interpretation there, right? As they sort of continue down. And then we can see here, right, they're maintaining a pretty accurate in zone. So your top of target is going to be here towards that that blue line, and then we have the base of target there. So it looks like 007 is doing a pretty good job of, staying in zone.
As you'd expect.
One of the things we want to highlight is notice how the ROP is changing, right? So in this particular section, we have a blazing fast ROP, right? But kind of in that earlier segment, maybe not as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why you gotta pay attention, be vigilant, because at any point you might get that that portion that your RP is going up. You need to just be careful so that doesn't push you out of zone.
Absolutely. And we can jump over here. We'll look at player 14, how they're doing on the competition. Alrighty. You can see here. Wow, look at that ROP. Looks like they're just blazing fast. They're going straight. Exactly. So we'll be looking at different competitors throughout the competition, streaming into their views. So we will also be analyzing the scoreboards as we kind of go ahead. Sean, in terms of your experiences, right? What have you found to be one of the challenges that U.S. operators are starting to face on shore?
I think, we're talking about operations and geosteering, but I think one of the main things that the market in general is seeing is we're running out of core inventory, right?
Right.
All of the main basins, we're running, the core inventory is taken by a lot of the majors now. You see a lot of companies, even the majors, going to the fringes of the basins as all of these unconventionals were discovered and developed at the beginning. You're seeing a lot of smaller operators, private equity backed, going out there and being trailblazers a little bit to the fringes of the basins. So the challenge is we're running out of tier one inventory,
right.
But at the same time, we have innovation, we have science and technology, and we have brave companies and explorationists and developers who are going out there to develop benches that were not thought of as tier one. Now we're going maybe to tier 2 and tier 3, but we're developing them better than they would have been 5 or 10 years ago.
Right.
So challenge being running out of tier 1 inventory, opportunity being with the right people, with the right technology.
Absolutely.
It's all of these are the gifts that keep on giving these basins. You have your Permian, you have your Haynesville, Eagle Ford's been around still, going strong. So
Right.
challenges and opportunities.
Absolutely. Yeah, no. We've kind of seen that too, right? I mean, when we look at the Eagle Ford, we look at the Permian or some of the different assets based in the U.S., right? I mean, just like you're saying, tier 1 inventory, we're running out. There's not so much. And so either you're dealing with increasingly tighter kind of spacing, right, in terms of leases, where now we're seeing the rise of horizontals, rise in trends when it comes to anti-collision, right? So you can optimize that well spacing. But what we're also seeing, right, is taking sort of these older acreages that may have already been drilled or we thought to be completely drilled.
Yeah.
And that's when you're coming in with refracts or redesigns or new technologies so that you can really optimize.
I like horizontals.
Yeah. I mean, those are fascinating, right?
Yeah.
They popped up really in what, like the last 5-6 years?
Just about, yeah. But again, it's that innovation that that is giving us that added production. Again, we're seeing a lot of the small companies get their hands dirty.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
So as we do that, let's go ahead and introduce a quick little other segment. We are, if nothing else, prepped for life from many years ago to be experts in dad jokes. We had mystery drinks, and in here we have an assortment of really excellent jokes.
Oh yes. Should I do the first pick?
Go for the first
Let's
pick.
see. Let's see what we got here. Alrighty. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Kick.
Kick who?
Kick me once, shame on mudweight. Kick me twice, shut
Kick me twice.
shut it in.
Shut it in.
Exactly. Yes, we're gonna have lots of fun dad jokes here on the stream. I know.
We have a cheering squad in the corner. It's all we're getting. Like just back to back is boos and thumbs down. Carlos is a real supporter here. We appreciate him.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. No, it's gonna be fun. But yeah, so you'll be suffering with us, right, as we kind of take these different drinks, but then also as we do these different dad jokes. So it should be a fun one. Breaking news, alert, alert. We are about to go on a brief break, but fret not. When we come back, we're going to have our second interview with Garrett Hickman, who is joining us from Devon Energy, who is the operations manager. So we'll be right back.
Oh. Break. Oh, we're live. Hey, we're live. This is what happens when you're live. That was the countdown. It makes sense that the countdown is for you going live, not the opposite.
And we've teleported. We are now in Oklahoma City with Garrett Hickman. Garrett, how's it going?
Good, good. Thank you guys for having me. How are y'all doing?
We're doing very well.
Fantastic, man. Thanks for being here.
Sure thing.
Thanks for being here.
Excited to be here to chat geosteering.
Absolutely. So we have a bit of a rivalry here on the GWC. I'm joined on my right side by the man from Texas A&M who beat Notre Dame. I couldn't believe that game.
It was a great game.
1 point, baby.
But
Entertaining.
the good
one.
thing is, we got two Sooners on the call.
That's okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
We can hold our own.
Well,
And we've got
on,
Carlos in the
let's
back,
make it
3
very
Sooners.
clear. I'm an Oklahoma State Cowboy first and foremost, so just want to make sure that's not forgotten.
There you go. Go Pokes. For sure. Well, Garrett, thanks for coming on to the show. We really appreciate it. To kick us off, how did you become a geoscientist, and what is your favorite rock?
Yeah, so I actually started my education wanting to get into the geosciences, but originally went to school as a physics major at Oklahoma State and wanted to get into the geophysics side of things. And it did not take me long to figure out I liked the geo a whole lot more than I did the physics. So shortly after taking my first geology course, I knew that was the route I wanted to go. And so didn't really have any intentions of ending up in operations, but I've worked in geosteering / operations for my whole career and fell in love with it. So really excited to work in this space, and it's a lot of fun, right? As we all know, fast paced and lots of quick decisions needing to be made, and that's the part I probably enjoy the most. And then, I mean, as far as a favorite rock, I put more thought into this than I probably should have, and stressed me out more than it probably should, because I frankly didn't have a very good answer. So my answer is not near as exciting or geologic as the first one was from Nader, but I went purely on an aesthetic basis, and I'd have to go with just a good old clean looking diorite would be my favorite. Yeah,
I respect it.
Respectable. Yeah.
Very nice.
Question for you: What floor is your office in?
34, so like
That's
2/3 of
awesome.
the way up or so.
I
My
love that
ears are
tower so
just, I've
much.
been here a little over a year. My ears are just now finally starting to not pop when I go up the tower. So mornings are a little more pleasant than they were at first.
Yeah.
Oh, love that. So, Garrett, from your perspective, I know that you've worked in a ton of different basins throughout all of your experiences. What do you think is kind of the primary challenge or set of challenges that operators in the U.S. are facing with onshore unconventionals?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll probably just expand upon the conversation you guys were having prior to the break. You know, there's obvious market pressure to continue to improve drilling efficiencies, you know, financial efficiencies, and we're trying to balance that with the declining tier one inventory, right? And so trying to stay ahead of that curve. I mean, I think that it's pretty easy. We've gotten very good at what we do here on onshore North America, unconventional drilling. And so sometimes it can be very easy to think that the plateau is looming and that at some point we won't be able to continue to improve, you know, how fast we're drilling, how efficiently we're completing. And, you know, that means a wide range of things. It's not just on bottom ROP, it's also connection times, it's rig move times, it's the regulatory side of things. And so, but fortunately, our industry has continued to prove over and over again that when we feel like we're at the plateau, we just continue to get better, whether that be new best practices or new technologies like the RSS assemblies that lots of operators are using nowadays for longer laterals, more rotation. I think it's that balancing act that's the biggest challenge for us right now. And again, all going back to also making sure that we're responding to market pressure appropriately.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that goes back to what you were talking about too, Sean. I mean, we were talking about the tier one acreage, but also in the earlier conversation with Nader, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, and you see a lot of new players. So you have players like obviously Devon and companies like that, and then you have a lot of smaller companies that are getting into market to being innovative, and then you have international companies that are kind of getting in maybe a little more into the Haynesville area because it's closer to your export terminals. But yeah, exactly as Garrett said. I mean, it's you know, we're going to be relying on people and technology to push those boundaries because there's a lot of resources out there. You look at the recovery factors, there's plenty more even where we've already been to go with newer technology and improve it and get more out of the ground. But yeah, it takes good people, good technology.
Yeah, no, and I think that's an
Absolutely.
important point too. While yeah, we consider our tier one acreage and our historical target benches to be dwindling, you know, there's a lot of these technology innovations are unlocking what is considered new tier one inventory. I mean, you see the development of the Woodford and the Barnett on the Midland side, and even more recently on the Delaware side and the Permian. So
Yeah.
there's that factor as well of unlocking things that we know to be highly productive that just historically have not been economic to drill, if even possible.
Man, I mean, you're talking about Permian. You're looking at the Joe Mill and Dean. I remember back in 2017, 18, when you know, we were presented to some customers and investors. We oftentimes, like, we would put it there, but like, it's not that you're hiding it. Everybody knows they're there. But we would even skip them in a stratigraphic column because we're like, yeah, nobody's drilling Joe Mill or Dean right now. But then you have companies like Birch Resources that are basically they've built a company on Joe Mill and Dean right now. And so again, it's that tech, people going after it and developing it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Garrett, for kind of our last interview question here, and thanks again for joining us, where do you think that the improvements lie, right? What is the future direction when it comes to continuing upon that? Is it in better completions? Is it in AI? Is it in other kind of methods? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably a combination of all of those factors, just like it has been historically, right? Drilling and completions aren't going to stop getting better just because there's other tools available. And so we'll continue to see a push to improve efficiencies and recovery rates, all related to those efficiencies improvements. But obviously nowadays AI is the big the buzzword, right? And I'm fortunate to work for a company that's very excited about AI and the potential utilization in the future. And that can mean a wide range of things, right? I think one of the most exciting capabilities of AI is to, you know, digest massive databases like all of us as onshore operators have that, you know, maybe historically have just been difficult to have the manpower to be able to really dig into from an analytics perspective. And on top of just the pure volume, you know, potentially identify some relationships or potential improvement opportunities that may not have been blatantly obvious to the human interpreter, right? You know, that AI definitely brings more machine based and purely data based perspective to that. You know, that's kind of the big shiny exciting potential implementation of AI for us as operators. But even just from the human side of things and the time management side of things, you know, AI definitely has the capability in its simplest form, as we all know, to really reduce the amount of time spent doing kind of mundane, historically manual tasks, and really allows personnel, geoscientists, engineers, data analytics personnel to spend their time doing the actual analytics part of things, and not spending time with the data management side.
Yeah, nowadays you can get a lot of, at the very least, the first pass done on your seismic, on a lot of your interpretation with seismic, and it's improving year over year.
Yeah.
So then you spend your time looking at that first pass, if you'd like.
Yeah.
But yeah, that saves us a lot of time.
Yeah. And I think it gets a lot more people involved in spaces they may not have historically been trained to be involved in. You know, coding is a great example of, it's been a very unique skill that you need a special person with a certain background and a certain education to help you with any kind of coding task you may be needing, whether it building out some kind of platform or querying data. And now, you know, just your everyday geosteerer or engineer or somebody who may not have that background has a tool at their disposal to be able to help them to do some of that work on their own. It really broadens the horizons for a lot of people.
Absolutely. No, I couldn't agree more. Actually, then that's kind of similar to our backgrounds, right? I mean, I know that Sean and I, we've sort of had our fair mix when it comes to geology and geophysics, right? Kind of those different technical, learning about those different technical fields, right? And just, I think collectively, right, we kind of all see ourselves as geoscientists, right? Not necessarily a geologist or geophysicist or petrophysicist, right? It's sort of this collection of the multidisciplinary nature that kind of helps us better understand the subsurface. So, yeah. Completely agreed, and thank you again, Garrett, for joining us. We really appreciate to have you on the show. It's been fantastic, and thank you for representing the Cowboys out there, right, from Oklahoma State. We really appreciate it, and yeah, thanks a ton. We look forward to it.
Yeah, no, thank you guys for having me. It was a great time.
Great to have you, Dan.
Great to have you. Alrighty, and now we're going to transition over into a break. So don't leave your seats. We will soon be starting round 2 later into the competition. So that'll be a fun one. But we're going to take a very small break here, and then we'll be right back at it.
what our vote is for the drink of choice for geosteering.
Absolutely. So, and we have just finished pushing all of the data for the first round, and we can take a look at the results. So, for first round of 2025 GWC, we're actually having some very interesting statistics here. We are seeing actually that our previous champion, Arat Sabirov from Saudi Aramco, actually took the first place within round one. He had a score of about 76.8, but it was so close. It was absolutely stunning. Wow. Yeah, we have GT Marshall.
This is Formula One type of stats we're looking at. They're like 0.8 away.
This is neck and neck.
Neck and neck.
It's like 200ths of a second.
Yes.
For sure. So we have a difference of 0.8 points, which is absolutely wild. GT Marshall at 76. We have Siege at 74. We know earlier in the competition, this competitor actually had the fastest ROP.
He did.
Right? Steering super fast and smooth. We have Ryan that came in 4th place. Kevin Glass, that's in 5th. RG in 6th. Our Bean Lord, that is 7th place. Dylan Stewart, WTH, and then Valderrama.
Valderrama.
Absolutely. Kind of going down here, we can see that we have one of our famous contestants, JT Price. He was in 13th place. He's been a historical competitor for several years in the GWC.
He's been around for a while. He's got a lot of great experience.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And so we got Ahmed as well, Star Sky, Bruno, Lateral Legend. I can see...
Have we lost the rig guy? Rig man? What was it? Big Rig Dan?
Big Rig Ron.
Big Rig Ron. It's all right. At least we gained WTH. Yeah. I'm okay with that.
Exactly. And so this is actually a really interesting statistic. So when we look at actually the zone percentage versus the average ROP, one thing that we want to highlight actually is that while Arat was the highest ranking in the in-zone percentage, it was actually someone else who had the fastest ROP, right? So this kind of goes to really highlight that it's a factor of many, many different things. Right, so looking at the top 20 players for ROP, I mean, I don't think we actually see Arat here on the board, right?
No, but I think Daniel Morse is ahead of.
Yes, he is indeed ahead of base. For sure. So that's kind of showcasing, kind of the different factors here, within the competition.
Yeah.
Some of the things that we can do as well, right, is we can actually look at the breakdown of some of these individual competitors. So we can take a look at our top scorer, right? Let's dive into what Arat's interpretation was. Let's see here. So we are going to see... let's see, 242. So we can dive in, take a look here at the top results, and take it for you guys live.
I'd just like to point out, there isn't that much of a height difference. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah.
while we're doing actual science.
Mm-hmm.
the audience section in the back is not sure.
Yeah, they're like, I don't know, Oh, exactly.
All right, and as you're doing that, let's go ahead and we're going to go with we're showing? Perfect. Okay, we'll do this right after.
Absolutely. Alrighty. So, here we go. We can actually see Arat's results here. So notice how he's almost like absolutely in zone. I mean, this is some stellar stuff, right? In zone target percent of 100. That is massive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is huge. We have an ROP of about 5.2. Your average DLS was 0.46 over 30. Success score 76.83. So Arat, I mean, wow, staying in zone, keeping it nice, cool, and smooth. I mean, that's some Ricky Bobby shaking.
That is some Ricky Bobby stuff. It's also his late night as well. It's like 8 or 9 p.m. I think. Where assuming he's in Saudi, that's good stuff. He's had his nap. His come online to win this thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
Let's go, A-Rod, and anyone else who wants to compete with him.
And here live from the sports desk. So we are going to have round 2 that is going to kick off at noon. So I know that there's a lot of buzz that's happening in the chat. In the next 30 minutes or so, that's when we're going to kick off round 2, which will be your conventional well. We'll kind of cover a bit of the prognosis for that. It's going to be kind of that coal seam.
Yes.
And what I heard is that the resistivity there is going to be absolutely stellar. I mean, this is going to be really the key differentiator. Plot twist.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, right? That's really going to help a lot of our players out.
We already know a lot of the players are fans of resistivity data, so it's good for them.
Absolutely. So we're going to look at our poll 2 results very shortly here, and we can kind of look at what the favorite snacks are.
So as we do that, we are going to go for mystery drink number 2. That's a healthy pour. I probably shouldn't have gone with that healthy a pour. Christina does not look happy. Here, I'll give you the little one. Just you'll be happy to know what it's called. Would you like to read it for us?
Oh, brother. It's called Alien Snot.
There you go.
Oh, Lord. All right.
Cheers, buddy.
All right.
You know, it's a good alien. It's a tasty alien.
You know,
it's
kiwi and blue raspberry. It kind of tastes like a watered down Sour Patch Kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of tastes like that.
Yep. I mean, we have to finish it now.
Oh, wow. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. All right. So we have the poll results. The official geosteering snack. So the number 1 result actually was pizza. It was pizza, 34%.
It was pizza all along.
It's always pizza.
It's always pizza.
Exactly. So not too far behind number 2 was going to be your coffee and donuts. Then we had in third place your energy drinks and chips. And then we had our trail mix. So I'm personally a big fan of trail mix, but usually when I'm out in the field, not necessarily when geosteering. For sure. So I know that we're going to kick off our third poll here pretty soon. It is going to be, when in doubt, what is your first go-to log? Is it going to be gamma ray? Is it going to be your resistivity? Is it density neutron? Or is it going to be your image logs? So very curious to hear from y'all. What is your first go-to log when you're trying to stay in zone? So we'll be having that up pretty shortly. We're going to go ahead and revisit our unconventional leaderboards and have it up here for a little while as we kind of, chat along. So I'm going to switch over here to our results for all of our live viewers that are on today. So here are all of the top 20 contestants. So we'll be looking at success score. That is going to be the predominant one, right, for the most part, which shows the ranking for everyone within round 1. And again, just as a reminder for everyone, right, the same metrics that we're using to rank everyone within the first round will be the same one in the second round, right? So
you'll get a good experience on the unconventional and on the conventional side. Again, international audience. So a lot of folks are maybe used to mostly operating in unconventional, a lot mostly on conventionals. So there's going to be new things and new learnings and discoveries for everyone here.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's part of the fun too. It's just like, I don't know, when I was kind of just starting to get into geology, I know that, during grad school and all that, we looked at a lot of conventional offshore reservoirs. And, when you see an unconventional reservoir for the first time, it can be a little daunting, in some ways. So
yeah, I remember I started with some unconventionals in Australia, Cooper Basin, then I did Utica Marcellus, and the third thing I did was Gulf of Mexico, and all of a sudden it was a whole new area. I was looking up papers to read. You okay there?
I actually kind of like it. It's not bad.
Yeah, alien snot. Get you some.
I'll finish it for you.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's a good mix. It's a good mix of conventional and unconventional experiences.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's kind of what makes it fun. So, as we can kind of continue through the program, we covered sort of the unconventional onshore challenges that are within the U.S. We took a brief little road trip over to the Middle East, overseas, to understand what are some of the onshore challenges that they're facing over there. Now we're going to take a very small vacation. We're going to go to South America. We're going to go visit Argentina from our good friends over at YPF so that they can share a little bit more about some of the challenges that they're facing within their area, and then also kind of what the future directions hold or yield for the onshore unconventional realm. So we're going to go ahead to a pre-recorded interview with YPF, and it'll be with 3 distinguished guests. We'll have Angela Rodriguez, who is our country manager for Argentina, who will be the host for the interview.
We have Andres Askenazi. He is the senior geologist and leader of the geosteering team and strategy, whose career has been defined by the design and implementation of dynamic geological models and a deep understanding of the subsurface. His leadership has redefined the role of geosteering, not just as an operational tool, but as a driver of efficiency and strategic value for the entire organization.
Absolutely. And they will also be joined by Noelia Di Giuseppe, who is a geosteer, and also she is a GWC contestant.
There you go.
She was the regional Latin America champion back in 2021.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kudos.
Her ability to integrate data, collaborate in real time with different teams, and execute under pressure has made her an essential figure within the technical team and in coordination with Roji. So we'll pass it over to Angela, Noelia, as well as Andres to kind of share more of their thoughts.
Okay, Andres, so you as a leader of the Real-Time Intelligence Center has been recognized for your innovative approach. So how do you think technology has improved the cost and the timing and efficiency in your operation?
Okay, well, actually, for us, technology is the key to improving our operations. Specifically, in the case of geosteering, we are using AutoSteer like a tool to improve our operation.
Yeah.
We are working in our wells with AutoSteer in order to support the decisions that we are taking.
Okay, great. And from the operational side, Noelia, from your experience in the competition and in previous edition, what do you think that sets apart a regular geosteering team to a champion level team?
Well, I would say the team needs to have an ability to identify changes really quickly, and also knowing that any changes you make will impact in the drilling parameters exactly. So that's why we as a team here, having worked with the engineers and with the directional drillers, we have full knowledge of that, of how every decision that we make impact their experience. So I think that the team needs to act quickly, but don't panic and make changes slowly. And I think that's the key. Any team that does that does have a high chance to win, I think.
Okay, so we can say that an experienced geosteerer is the one that not panic but take the best decision in the short time.
It's difficult, but it's how it has to be. Yes.
Yeah, good, great. Okay, so now Andres, something that sometimes is going unseen is how you keep to manage all this running smoothly, right? You need the collaboration of multiple teams and multiple sectors. How is that collaboration going, and what are the main challenges that you faced in that process?
Okay, yes. Here in the Real-Time Intelligence Center, we are working with geosteering geologists, drill engineers, directional drillers, superintendents, and we work with different areas into YPF. And when we start with the geosteering team, we began with our goal was to reach the trajectory into the geological target, only this. But now we are working in a dual objective. on a dual goal is into maintain the trajectory into the geological target and improve ROP.
Yeah.
And in order to reach this goal, it's necessary to work with engineers in performance, in ROP, in different points, and with different groups in order to make a balance between geological targeting and drilling efficiency. No?
It is visible the change that happened when you come here to Buenos Aires and you bring this entire room. How that changed the process, the entire process.
It's a big change for us. Here we are now in the real-time intelligence center. We are taking decisions and we are taking control of the operation.
Yeah.
And the geosteer is working with some autonomy, and it's a direct communication with the field, with the rigs, with the directional driller, with the people in the field, and we are improving our results a lot since December when we start with the real-time intelligence center here in Buenos Aires.
How many wells did you manage from here?
Okay. At the same time,
Yeah.
now we are working with 13 rigs.
Okay, that's a lot.
Yes, a lot. We have 4 geosteerers at the same time working.
Okay.
Yes, in four groups, and in total we have 16 geosteerers in the team. No? And the last week we reached the number of 1,000 geosteered wells.
Wow,
YPF.
congratulations.
Yes.
That's a big achievement.
Yes, and
Yeah.
we started working with the geosteering house in 2018.
Okay.
But it's a big, it's a great learning curve with this amount of well geosteered. No?
Of course, just super experience. You are the reference here in Argentina. Okay,
Yes.
great.
It's a lot. It's a lot, but yes, we have an experience here. Vaca Muerta formation is special. It's not easy, but we reach a big results and good efficiency in operations. No?
Okay, so with that big numbers, I hope to see you guys in the first places, at least on the conventional side. So thank you so much, Andres.
Okay, so much.
All right, and we're back.
We are indeed.
We are back indeed. Sean and I have been watching kind of the chat coming through throughout the entire competition. So if there's anything that y'all want us to highlight, let us know. We'll be actively monitoring and trying to, kind of work with the chat, and incorporate you guys into the stream. I know that we had a few contestants that were kind of shouting out, just like, hey, let's look at these results. So we pulled up player 24 from the unconventional. So this is from the previous round, right? In round 1. And we can see that actually they did a pretty good job geosteering here, right? I mean, look at the complexity that they were capturing. Absolutely. So, yeah. So we can also see that we have the round 1 results, right? So we have A-Rots, who is number 1, all the way down through Daniel Morse is ahead of question from round 1.
The lateral legend. Let's go.
The lateral legend. I think that's a pretty close friend of ours, actually, who's calling in here. Let's see. So, the lateral legend, we are joined by our friend, Harry Collini, actually, who is competing overseas in the UK.
Who's now outed.
Who's now there, yeah.
Nice.
Absolutely. So, Harry, thanks again for competing. It's amazing to have you on board here. All right. And we also want to give a big thank you to our sponsors. As always, they're the ones who are helping support the stream, right, and the competition. So a big thank you to our platinum sponsor, which is Edge Systems. We're also joined by Source Geosteering, now Geos, Innova Innova Drilling and Intervention, GeoX Pro, Columbine Corporation, as well as Beloy, who is in Canada.
Yeah. And speaking of the top 20, one of the names out there, Valderrama. Carlos, I think you have a fun fact about that.
Yes, I have a really good fun fact. Actually, Valderrama was a really famous Colombia football, real football, soccer for some people, player. Back in the 90s, he actually played in Spain, he's playing in France, and he was playing in Colombia for Junior de Barranquilla, really good team too. And it's a fun fact because he was wearing almost the number 10, and Valderrama
And he's
here is
10th
number
now.
10.
Boom! Look at that.
There you go. It was meant to be.
He should have been a goalkeeper. He should have picked a goalkeeper. Could be number one now.
That's true. Go Valderrama, you are my player right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna cheer for you.
We totally don't have favorites, but Valderrama or Carlos's favorite.
Oh, that is amazing. Good deal. And we're also going to look over at some of our other competitors. So we're going to jump over here back into Starlight and take a look at some of the results here. Alrighty, and we're going to pull up player 24 and take a special look into their project and kind of their results. So we can see during their actual interpretation as they were steering the well, it was actually quite several structure elements are present. And so when the screen comes up here, we'll be able to show you guys closer. There we go. Here we are. So yeah, we can see that here, right? This is going to be your zone. So for the most part, right, kind of a lot of structural complexity that's present. Notice here, this was actually, you know what? I think that was actually a pretty good call in that specific instance. We can actually look at ROP, right? And so notice here, right, there is high zones of ROP, which we see by these high, kind of highlighted here in green. But here, right, sort of that reasoning, continuing to stay along that trajectory, because any kind of erratic change there, that could have added significant issues to their ROP, right? So where it could have actually lowered it even more. So I think here that was actually a pretty smart call, because as they kind of get towards the end here, you're seeing a continuation of an increase in ROP, and then eventually, right, as you sort of continue on, look at that.
Yeah.
They're kind of continuing a lot faster in that area. So congratulations, player 24. This is actually a really good score. I mean, 37, right? But it's important to note, on the Geosteering World Cup, right, there are over 300 contestants. I think we had about 316 that were joining us.
Yeah, more than that even. Yeah.
Give or take. Yeah. So no, this is still a very, very high ranking, and it's still anyone's game, right? And with round 2 that's coming up, right, that's going to be a completely different challenge. So there is still time for everyone to get back into the race.
Yeah, and as Nutter from ADNOC said earlier, I mean, like, if you're competing, you are in the top 300-ish of the world.
Right.
And then within that, wherever you rank, it's still higher and higher.
Exactly.
Around the world.
Absolutely. I mean, we're competing with people from all across the world, whether it's in the Middle East and Asia, Africa, Europe, South America, even North America, right? Everyone is competing to take home the gold, famous fabled trophy here.
Yep.
Now in its 7th edition.
Yes, sir. Whether you call it soccer or football, you're competing for the same trophy.
Exactly. Or Formula One, right? Trying to be the fastest in zones.
Boom. Go Cadillac.
Can we talk about that for a second?
Yes. Controversy.
Yes.
Oh, Mark's been quiet. Mark's the master of all of this from behind the scene, but okay. Okay.
No, let's talk about this.
Let's do it.
I am so absolutely excited for Cadillac to be part of the F1 grid in these coming years.
Yes.
I mean, black and gold, it's going to be perfect. Delivery.
Team Apex.
Yes, exactly.
buddy of mine, Ramon, I don't think he's watching, but I'll send him this. But he is insanely in love with Red Bull, and like, he doesn't wear anything other than Red Bull gear. I never understood people being so fanatically fans of Formula One teams, because it's just car or energy drink companies. But Cadillac is the first time that I think I have that passion, because of the team, because of the drivers, Checo and Valtteri Bottas.
Oh yeah, I mean, Bottas, such a phenomenal driver. Checo, the Minister of Defense. I mean, one of the best drivers out there on the grid that's coming back. I'm so excited.
Let's go. Let's go.
Absolutely. I'm sorry, Leclerc, but I got to support Cadillac now. So
yeah. You what? Yes.
Cadillac. Sponsor of the GWC.
Yes. GWC 2026. Brought to you by.
We warned you guys it was going to be a giggle fest. So
this is us controlled.
Yes, exactly. Nice and placed.
Because I'm afraid of Christina. And
that makes 2 of us.
Yeah.
Already. We're going to take a quick 10-second break here, and we're going to transition to our next guest interview. That's actually from one of our platinum, or our only platinum sponsor, which is going to be Edge Systems. We'll be joined by Carl Simcox here in the next couple of seconds, so we'll see you guys in a few. For a live interview. First, we want to go ahead and introduce Rafa. So Rafa, welcome onto the show.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for the introduction. Thank you for inviting me to this space.
Absolutely. And before we get started with everything, it's very important that we start covering round 2, our conventional well, right? We will be starting off round 2 at around noon, so in about 8 or so minutes. So we'll kind of go ahead and walk through the geological prognosis, sort of what to expect, right, in this last round of the competition. As we get the screen pulled up here, we just want to note that there's still a lot of game left in the GWC. It ain't over till it's over.
That's it.
Exactly.
That's what I hear.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So there's still a lot of steering to be had, but round 2 is going to be our conventional well. Sean, where's it taking place?
It is, so we have conventionals, coal seam, and we're looking at Bowen and Stewart Basin coals in Australia.
Yes, that's right. We're going to the land down under, so it should be pretty fun. Kind of the key coal units that we'll be looking at here is the Blackwater group, right? And so it's going to be overlain and underlain by siltstone, silty sandstone, and mixed clastics. So you're going to have lots of sand on top, lots of sand on the bottom, and then you have this thick coal seam that's right in the middle. One of the really cool things about this is, coal seams historically used to be a pretty popular play actually here in the U.S. I mean, you don't see them too much anymore, but I don't know, there's a bit of a resurgence that's happening overseas, right? With the rise of kind of natural gas and LNGs, it's becoming more interesting.
Rise of natural gas, rise of need for power for data centers and AI, and geopolitics that's going on around the world, and increasing the need for new or old new old sources of energy. So yeah, there's a resurgence in that.
Absolutely. And this coal seam is going to be pretty thin. We're looking at about 5 meters, right? So that's going to be pretty thin when you're steering through it. Pretty thin. Exactly. We're not losing it yet. From the petrophysics side, we're going to be looking at a high resistivity. So this is where resistivity inversion, and this is why Rafa is joining us. He's one of our experts that's going to talk a little bit more about it later on in the show. But the resistivity here, right, we're looking at about 200 to 500 ohms. So when it comes to steering, resistivity is going to be your best friend. Little spoiler alert and hack. In terms of your structural complexity, you're going to have a bit of fault, right? Some localized folding, and also you may have some seam thinning due to the long tectonic history of offshore Australia. So that's something that you may want to bear in mind. Your steering challenges: seismic resolution. How good is seismic, Sean?
Generally, pretty great.
Pretty great.
Yeah, if you have it.
If you have it.
Yeah.
In this instance, not so much.
Nope.
So it's going to be poor seismic resolution. So your fault position uncertainty is going to be plus or minus 50 meters. When you're dealing with a 5-meter coal seam, right, that's a big amount of offset. So something to bear in mind. Remember, don't change your stuff erratically. Your dip variability, you're going to have pretty gentle to steeper changes, so about 0.5 degrees to about 2 degrees, give or take. But really the challenge here, it's going to be a thin target, you're going to have structural complexity, and gamma-only steering is going to be reactive and shallow, so there's a high risk of leaving the coal without realizing it. So something important to note. Here we have some of the depositional history of the basin in question. So you have a stratigraphic column as well as a map view of the Bowen and the Surat basins here in offshore Australia. Going to be some of your steering challenges. So notice the structural map here, right? So we have this structural high that's going to be around this area, right? And it's kind of going to be lower towards the rest. Same with your structural map, right? So we can see that there's quite a bit of faulting that's pronounced here throughout the area. So for round 2, this is going to be a big challenge. And in the next, I would say 4 to 5 minutes, that's when we're going to have our data that'll be pushing through. So this is going to be a very exciting round.
We're getting there.
Absolutely. So as we wait for the data to start being pushed, we're going to jump over to our another set of interview, which is going to be Carl Simcox. So we'll be joined by Carl pretty soon to chat more on the GWC. Alrighty.
Data.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back now with the GWC 2025, joined by Rafa as well as Sean, and we are joined by the legendary Carl Simcox, who is a University of Oklahoma Boomer Sooner. Dr. Simcox, it is fantastic to have you on the call. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Sean. I saw that Sean got to wear his Texas A&M bullpen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Where's your OU gear, man?
Yeah.
Absolutely. For sure. So, Carl, thanks again for coming on to the show. We really appreciate it. Quick question for you. How did you become a geoscientist, and what is your favorite rock?
Oh, an oil-saturated one. Or
okay.
It's
Lots
football
of fennel?
season, so you could say my favorite rock is the football. No, but in all seriousness, I'm a sucker for the Devonian shales. I think there's so much going on during that time, and they're kind of everywhere, and they all tell a different story. I mean, we've been doing one in the Oklahoma, and it's got really interesting geology. If you ever go out to Ada, out in Pottawatomie County, you'll see pyrite layers that are 2 inches thick and the size of dinner tables, followed by phosphate beds for bit deflection, and you can just see how they're drilling that out in Grady County. The challenges they face is pretty incredible.
Oh, absolutely. No, phenomenal. And Carl, kind of from your experiences, right? What are some of the largest challenges that operators in the U.S. are facing?
Inventory. I think that, people are scrambling for, what's that 5-year horizon look like? What's that 10-year horizon? So it's about getting as much as you can, drilling the best wells that you can with the acreage you do have. And then while you're doing that, doing the kind of basic exploration, geoscientific reconnaissance, that's going to lead to that next big find.
Yeah. How do you think companies like yours are helping in that discovery and promotion of these opportunities?
Right. So the most common way that any operator is going to encounter their rock and learn about it is by drilling through it. And there's others. The operational pieces you're going to get, there's not a budget to do pilot holes on every single well, but you're collecting gas data and you're collecting cuttings data and squeezing the most amount of value that you can out of those systems. So here at Edge, we do a lot of XRF work, and the new system on the block is the FTIR. The models are coming through, they're working great. And so for those of you who aren't familiar, where XRF gives you that periodic table of elements and you can model out mineralogy, you can tell a story about TOC and redox conditions and trace elements and provenance. FTIR is trained on a lot of XRD data, and it can give you direct mineralogy. And so that's a total game changer for having conversations beyond farther back in the building than the drilling department, actually penetrating into the completions department. You can measure swelling clays directly. You can measure different types of iron-bearing clays that are going to help with your petrophysics. And you can even, I've seen cases where we're picking up siderite that no one even knew about. So now you're worried about, you're going to frack the siderite, or are you going to use acid? How much of those iron's going to come back in your flow back water? And it's set up in a way that, this is XRD quality data that you can generate in real time. And thanks to Roji and Starsteer, you can direct API that data and push it directly into your geosteering opportunities. And you can write numerical models, and you can train on it, you can steer on it. And from my side, I've been really pleased with the push that Roji's made with making data real time, letting that geologic well site geology data get pushed and put in front of operators and drillers.
Absolutely. And breaking news for everyone on the stream, alert, alert, we have officially started round 2 of the competition. That's right. Yes, exactly. So data will be being pushed about every 2 minutes or so. Be sure to get locked in and steer and adjust that target line. We have officially kicked off round 2, and the data should be streaming into everyone's projects as of now. And Carl, amazing point, right? And we're actually going to talk about that ecosystem and sort of how it ties in later when we interview Dylan as well as Matt Benson. They're going to talk about something called the whole buffalo, which effectively, we're not going to spoil it yet, but basically it's about no data left behind.
Yeah.
And it's exactly what you talked about, Carl.
Nothing
right?
to do with chicken.
Collaborate.
Multi-dimensional, multi-domain geosteering.
Exactly.
Holes in the ground, completing better wells, making them more efficient. Absolutely.
Absolutely. The name of the game. And Carl, sort of from your experience, and I know Raf and I, as well as Sean, we're going to talk about this later on in the show when we kind of expand more on resistivity and how that's really helping operators better stay in zone. Kind of in your opinion, where does the sort of future improvements lie? Right? We kind of talked about this with ADNOC and Devon and YPF and some of our previous guests, right? Is it better completions? Is it AI? Is it something else? Is it the awesome stuff that Edge is doing when it comes to XRD and XRF? What are your thoughts?
All of it. It's getting, it's about using the whole buffalo, right? So from a drilling point of view, steel costs what steel costs, but if completions is 2/3 of the well costs, then you at some point you got to case and cement the hole. So if you can optimize your completions, if you can use mass spec data to move a stage around, avoid a fracture that's going to absorb a lot of that fluid, if you can, put your wellbore in a place where your stimulation pressures are going to be more efficient, where you can get a connectivity in the reservoir by, doing that reconnaissance on that first well in the pad, and then, coming back and say, maybe we move up our wellbore, a foot or two. That's great. So there's more value that can be found in completions. And it's really been about getting geology and geosteering deep enough in the building that they can have those meaningful completions with conversations with completions, and they're not just going to frack everything. And it's, geology matters, and it's shown that it matters. And, where you put your wellbore really matters, and how expensive it is to drill to get there really matters. AI is a big piece of that. With real-time delivery, XRF data, XRD data, cuttings catches, you're getting a data point every 20 minutes. It doesn't have that same kind of resolution that like MWD tools have, but it really has the ability to look beyond one-dimensional. You can be looking at 30 different elements. So you have all these different knobs that you can turn, and it's really effective at creating training data sets. So either using like neural nets or discriminant function, you can go to a county or a play or an operator, and you can set up training data set either for chaotic systems, like you can think of a meandering river being kind of a chaotic system, but the Wolfcamp B tends to actually have a lot of the statistical relationships with a chaos-driven system. So you can find those facies pairing and get predictive, or you can use it to actually mark out certain benches so that as soon as that data point comes off the machine, it can get processed through, it can say, this data point looks like these other data points that we saw. And you can either key in on facies or benches, and that probability can be exported to a geosteer, because the risk is going to be like, it's more than just handing a big spreadsheet to a geosteer. They're going to be like, why am I getting this big periodic table of elements in a spreadsheet? So having some first level of interpretation to support the use case for it really draws them in and have a better conversation. The ability to deploy that data in a timely manner so that it's not just a 12-hour look back is also really key. And that's really what we focus on at Edge.
Right.
Making sure that if you're investing in real-time data, that it's being used to solve real-time solutions. And in XRF, and in drilling, that can be about bitware. We can see that in mass spec. We can see it oftentimes in the XRF data. Wellbore uncertainty. Why is it that something I just drilled is not what's coming out of my hole? Why do my cuttings gamma ray signature look not like my MWD signature? Does that mean that something's coming off into my wellbore? You can keep a finger on the pulse of the health of that wellbore, and that's really key.
No, great point.
Absolutely. No, couldn't agree more. And I mean, Carl summarized it really well, right? Geology matters.
Geology matters.
Wait, you're going to tell me the rock is lying? So leveraging all aspects, right, of the subsurface, the whole buffalo. Couldn't agree more. And thanks a ton for coming onto the show, Carl, and sharing your perspectives. And that'll play into exactly what we'll talk later on into the show, just like in the round 2. Absolutely.
Yeah. Julian, Sean, Rafa, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Go Sooners, gig 'em, or any of the above.
Go Cougs. Absolutely. No, thank you so much, Carl.
Thank you, Julian.
Alrighty, everyone. And we've continued on, and data is being pushed for round 2. I know that there was a bit of a hiccup that was happening before, but luckily, the team is looking into it. So don't worry, everything should be pushing normally in a few. But as we kind of continue on that, we're joined by Rafa, who is our director of drilling. Correct? So Rafa, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am geosteering geologist by background. So I have been working with ROGI since 2017. So I spent 7 years of my career here in ROGI, leading the technical team in Argentina. So recently, 1 year ago, I was relocated here to Houston, this amazing city, the capital of the energy, and with this amazing team. So right now my role is more related to drilling related technology and how we can improve the drilling performance, combining geosteering and geomodeling in real time. That is my word for geosteering. It's because we are doing geomodeling in real time. And right now what we do is complement both technologies, trying to improve the drilling performance.
Absolutely, for sure. And Rafa, in your opinion, right, and we're going to talk more about this, resistivity is going to be the big thing that we're going to talk about in this segment. Why does it matter? Why does resistivity make an active difference, or why would someone actually use resistivity inversion for a well?
Yep, this is a really good question. So the answer is in have 2 components. So in the technical component, so as you know, we run resistivity in drilling projects because 2 intentions, 2 purposes, or characterization or guidance. In geosteering, we use the resistivity for guidance. So when we do geosteering in shales, we basically are doing reactive geosteering. We need to drill to know where we are. So when we decide to use electromagnetic waves to find where is the location of the reservoir boundary, top or base, we use to drill proactively, avoiding contact unfavorable for non-decidable lithologies or fluids in our clastic reservoir.
Right.
So basically we can avoid sidetracks. We can deal with the stratigraphic and structural uncertainty in a proactively manner, and in the effect of those is more productive wells because we keep all the lateral in the productive zone. Maybe not always in the best productive properties, but always in productive sand or rock that is delivering oil.
Yeah. So in a case like this, when we're dealing with like 5 meter thick layers, pay zones and whatnot, it's going to be really important to
Definitely
utilize it so you can stay in zone in real life, not miss your zone and miss millions of dollars, and you have to go back up and down into your zone.
Yeah, in the past, when the geology teams didn't have access to this kind of approaches, modeling resistivity, sometimes they needed to stop because the geological uncertainty creating NPTs. So this affected or impacted in a not good way the entire drilling process. But today, and this is the second part of my message, is in the what is the impact of accessing today to the resistivity modeling, is that Rogi, when we develop this advanced calculation engines, letting big operators, mid-size, even small service companies to do their own pre-job, real-time and post-job analysis, doing resistivity modeling, even in forward modeling, two-layer inversion or stochastic and deterministic inversions when you run deep azimuthal resistivity or ultra deep azimuthal resistivity tools. So this is empowering a lot of important players from any size in the industry. That is my term for this is we are democratizing the access to this quite important calculations and insight that in the past was usually logged directly on the every tool provider.
Right. Absolutely. No, and that's going to play exactly into this next segment, right? We are also going to be joined by Jair, who I know that y'all have been working very closely in Latin America. He's sort of our resistivity guru as well.
Resistivity guru, that's it.
Absolutely. So we're gonna play here, pass it over to Jair, who's going to talk more about how resistivity, right? Sort of the two-layer and multi-layer and sort of all the different resistivity inversion methods that can be leveraged here inside of StarSteer. So we're going to pass it back to Jair, who will walk us through it.
Hello everyone, Jair speaking here, Technical Advisor at Rogi. In this edition of the Geosteering World Cup, we are proud to highlight the deployment of the azimuthal resistivity inversions feature. This powerful capability provides participants the ability to depict formation boundaries in real time and to integrate that insight with all the other geosteering tools in StarSteer. By interpreting the distance to a boundary inversion, you can adjust your geosteering model on the fly and reposition your target line with confidence and make informed decisions. The result is a workflow that mirrors real-world geosteering, where technology and interpretation come together to keep the wellbore precisely where it delivers the most of the value. Hope you all enjoy it and good luck. See you there. Hello, everyone.
Alrighty. I'm so excited for this. I've been waiting for this entire segment. We're going to have our interview with Daniel Wessel, who is the CEO of Innova Drilling and Intervention. Dan, how are you doing?
I'm not too bad, Julian. How about yourself?
I'm doing amazing because we've prepared a very special present for you, Dan.
Okay,
So,
I'm excited.
for everyone, absolutely. So everyone who has seen Dan and I present at the various conferences, we have prepared Dan his own set of FRs that are Roji themed. So now,
That's maybe saying something about my lack of fashion sense there, Julian.
absolutely, we are now going to be able to co-present together, and I felt so bad, right? Because it's like you have some of the coolest FRs that I've ever seen, and I wanted to make sure that we could, return the favor and have some cool Roji and even well-seeked X here on the base as well. So
Very much appreciated.
absolutely. Well, Dan, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. For everyone that is joining us on the stream, Innova has been a very close partner for Roji over many, many, many years. We've built various different integrations when it comes to tying in drilling or geological data. But before we kind of continue more, Dan, can you tell us a little bit more about the new latest and greatest Well Seeker X and who uses it?
Yeah, thanks, Julian. So, Well Seeker X is basically the latest desktop application from Innova, and that's being used by the directional drilling teams for actually doing the steering of the well. And I heard some of your previous guests talking about the importance of well placement, and Well Seeker X is that application which actually allows them to determine how to place that well, what steering adjustments they actually have to do, and also figuring out their proximity to not only the well plan, the lease lines, and other offset wells. So it really is the sort of go-to tool for directional drillers for them to actually do their job of placing well and keeping it in zone.
Absolutely. And Dan, kind of, working through that, can you tell us a little more? How does it fit in with geosteering, and what are the benefits for both systems?
Yeah, absolutely. So really, Well Seeker and Geosteering go hand in hand. So Star Steer is that application where you really determine ideally where you want to place that well. But Well Seeker is actually the application that allows directional drillers to execute, to do it. So Star Steer is really the sort of Google Maps. It's giving you the navigation, and Well Seeker is the driver. That's actually doing it. So they really go hand in hand. I mean, you really can't have one without the other. You need Star Steer for us to know where to place the well, and you need Well Seeker to allow you to actually do that well placement. And so, the integration between the two of those two applications is absolutely critical for optimal well placement.
Yeah, and so that's awesome to hear about the benefit of the integration between the two. So any expansion on that, but also I have a question for you on, can you describe the workflow that you go through to our users?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now, prior to the integration, the way that a target line change was communicated to the directional teams was usually a Teams chat, a WhatsApp message, an email. There was a variety of relatively low-tech ways of communicating that target line change. A few problems with this. There's always the issue of rekeying data, in fact, fingering, always a problem. One of the second problems you have as well is going to be your references. So a lot of the time, geosteering data, target line data especially, is usually referenced as era of articles action. Now, the directional teams don't work in zero vertical section at all. They have vertical section and reference to the wellhead. So there was a manual conversion that had to be done there, which it's not necessarily complex, but it's another step that has to be done. And you're drilling at 300-400 feet an hour. It's just something you don't want to have to do. So in terms of how we've integrated this into the directional drilling workflow, now what happens is when a target line change is made within StarSteer and that target line is actually starred, that target line, which you see within StarSteer itself, is automatically transmitted to the directional driller at the rig site, and he gets a pop-up window inside of WellSeeker. Now he can see the details of that target line, but all he has to do is hit accept. There is no rekeying of information. There's no interpretation. There is no ambiguity. The second thing that happens in terms of workflow improvements is previously the only way that the Geosteerers really knew if the directional driller was following that new target line was looking at the next survey. You would have to wait and see where is the well path going. Now we provide instant feedback, because we actually send that new well plan, which the directional driller is going to follow, straight back to StarSteer. And it's a very simple visual check. If the directional driller's plan that goes back to StarSteer goes straight through that target line, life is good.
Life is good. And so you touched on rig site. Could you tell us a little bit about how do you control access to the data that's collected at the rig site?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first thing is we have, quite a large array of roles and permissions which you can set here. So in terms of data control, that's controlled at an organization level through roles and various different security levels. So only the people who have, can or authorized to have access to that well can actually view it. Data security is definitely a very, very important piece. That's twofold. One, because obviously that information is private, but two, from a well placement standpoint, you do not want somebody accidentally accessing that data, changing something, changing a survey, and inadvertently having some disastrous consequences on where the well is placed. So we have a lot of different security layers in place here to basically allow us to control that data access and make sure only the directional drillers at the rig site are the only ones who are actually able to change the position of that wellbore.
Absolutely. No, and that's kind of a perfect synergy of how everything ties together, right? It's sort of combining the drilling world with the geoscience world, and really, I mean, that's kind of collectively the journey that we set out on for the past couple of years, right? I know that we've kind of worked toward that, Dan and I together with the Igors and the team, right? Is how do we bridge the gap between geoscience and drilling? And so by combining these two together, it's kind of we've sort of developed and continue to build upon that integration and showing. But yeah. And Dan, thank you so much.
It's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. No, it's been a fantastic pleasure to have you here on the show as always, Dan. It really is always a pleasure.
And now, whatever the environment, now we got fire resistant clothing that we can present at any conference now.
Certainly, and ever thought that my fashion sense would be trendsetting. So I'm pleased to have given you that.
Absolutely, Dan. You were setting trends in fashion and trends in drilling. So everyone be sure to check out WellSeeker X that now comes with dark mode. It is available for everyone to download today. And thank you again for the amazing support, Dan. We really appreciate it.
I really appreciate it. Enjoy the day, okay?
Absolutely. You as well.
Cheers. Bye.
Take care. And now that we've had our fantastic sponsor from Innova that has joined us to share more about the integration that we built together, we're going to take a live look at the leaderboards.
Let's do it.
Absolutely. So we're going to pull this up here. And we're
going to conventional. Okay.
All right.
Okay, I'm already liking this. First of all, Daniel Morse is ahead of a lot of people.
Oh.
Not quite as fast as our one fast cat.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look at that.
Is it Ned Flanders? We got Ned Flanders. That's awesome.
Howdy, neighbor.
North Texas fossil guy. Cool.
I respect it. Very nice. Ace. Got on 15th place. We've got JT, who is over in 18th.
Rozone drops to 12.
Man, that auto geosteering is actually doing a pretty decent job.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Ace.
Who else do we have in the zone?
JT Price.
Look at that.
Unsurprisingly, top 20 still. Conventional and unconventional. Ooh, he just jumped up two places.
Whoa. There we go. Looking at average ROP, true to the name, one fast cat.
One fast cat. That is one fast cat. Mr. X returns. What are we looking at? Yeah, we're doing that. Let's see. I love this. Very cool. Very cool.
Absolutely. And this is all in real time, right? So everything that we're looking at when it comes to actually tracking all the leaders, this is every time that there's a data push, we have another update that is here live on the dashboards. Something else to kind of highlight too, which is crazy. So resistivity is running on all of these different competitor wells.
Right.
That is 300 different resistivity inversions running in real time.
Yep.
At the same time in the cloud.
Right.
Which is insane computational power.
That's like if you had to make some kind of a comparison, what would it be?
So we actually did a bit of analysis. Welcome to the sports desk, right? Analysis. So we actually took a look at the numbers, and turns out that right now, we are running collectively more resistivity inversions than all kind of resistivity jobs in the world.
What?
Right now. Yeah.
What?
Live on Solo. So it just kind of shows you, sort of the scale of the different calculations that can be done today compared to only maybe just a few years back.
Yeah.
I mean, we're dealing with paper.
Yes.
Yeah. Colored pencils, which, don't get me wrong, I still love.
I do remember being a grad student at UT Arlington, sitting in the library doing my homework, which was coloring maps in and seeing other students pass by, giving me a look like I was special. Trying to color between the lines. But listen, that got me a degree.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it really is a big challenge. It's and that's kind of part of the fun part as well, right? Is sort of trying to consolidate all that together. So now that we've taken a look at the leaderboards, we're going to jump into some individual player spotlights. So kind of building off of that, we're going to go back to One Fast Cat, who is consistently placing top #1 here for round 2. Meow. Do you just meow? Meow. Meow.
Wasn't me.
Wasn't me. Must have been One Fast Cat. So we're going to pull it up live here for everyone to track along with us. This is none other than EQT, actually, that is steering in first place. Alrighty, so let's take a live look here at their interpretation. So, this resistivity inversion that we're showcasing here, right? This is going to be your best friend when it comes to actually staying inside of the zone. Right, we can see here how it really makes that coal seam jump out like a sore thumb. So we'll see it come up here pretty shortly. There we are, player 133, One Fast Cat. And then here, we can see that we have the resistivity version shown in red. Looking at our ROP, look how fast that this player is drilling. Really, true to the name, very, very fast. So we can see the ROP here. Anywhere that we see green, that is going very fast. Anywhere that's red, it's going a little slower.
I almost don't want to know his or her name just because I'm happy with One Fast Cat.
One Fast Cat. Exactly. No, they're doing really well here throughout the competition, and of course, as more of kind of these different data pushes come in, be curious to see how fast they progress along. One of the other things that we can start looking at are some of the other top 10 players. So we can look back at the leaderboards. We see that Daniel Morse is ahead of many, many people. So in second place is Daniel. And actually, WTH has surpassed one of the competitors there. Alrighty, let's pull it up here. And Daniel Morse is ahead of many others. He is actually from GeoVision, so our number 2, right, is bringing it out of the park. As we kind of continue looking at the results, we're going to pan over to one of our guest speakers that we were bringing. Actually, this is going to be Phil Zimchek. And Phil, this is actually fantastic. Not only are they a gold sponsor, but Sean, we've heard many things about Phil, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Mostly good things.
Yes, absolutely. GWC winner in the past.
Yes, indeed.
Absolutely. And back in 2023. So we have Phil that is joining us.
From nature.
Love it.
Hello, guys.
What's happening, Phil?
How's it going?
I'm joining you from nature. Everything's wonderful.
I love it. No, it's a pleasure having you, Phil. And really, it does mean a lot to Sean and I, right, to have one of our previous championship winners, right, back in 2023, and one of our very generous sponsors joining us here on the stream. So, Phil, really curious to hear, how did you become a geoscientist? What is your favorite rock?
Well, my favorite rock. Well, I've been interested in geology ever since I was a kid. So, I think my favorite rock is probably, I'd say Southern Rock.
Southern Rock?
Southern Rock.
Okay.
I can respect it.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'd have to think on that.
Yeah, we're a little slow on this end. Christina, she just said Sweet Home Alabama. Fair enough.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
So then I gotta ask,
see,
Phil,
yeah.
is it Kid Rock? Is it Dwayne the Rock Johnson?
Ooh. Is it Chris Rock?
Or is it Chris Rock?
Chris Rock's pretty.
We've all seen that meme.
I love it.
Yeah. Well, I'm here in the Highlands in Scotland, so I didn't participate
right?
this year,
Wow.
but I'm a sponsor and I'm interviewing during the competition, so I'd miss a few data pushes on this one anyway.
Yeah. Could you tell us a little bit about what Now Geos does?
Sure. Can you hear me still?
Yes, sir.
Loud and clear.
All right. I lost your sound for some reason, but I'll
No,
just
we
keep
can hear you.
talking. Okay. Hold on one sec. Yeah, put the headphones away. Can you hear me still?
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
All right. Yeah. So Now Geos is a geoscience consulting group, and we do a lot of geosteering and ops. But I've also done work for private equity companies, doing business development. But after I won the Geosteering World Cup, we really started steering a lot. So
That's awesome. Like direct impact of GWC in your work and business.
I would say so. The last 2 or 3 years have been really good since that happened. So I have to thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks for participating.
we've had multiple clients, mostly small or private clients. So we try to kind of keep it boutique. So I actually steer, and I try to do a high quality for a short list of clients.
Very cool.
No, absolutely. And Phil, kind of in your many different experiences, not just backyard in the U.S., but also overseas and all over the globe. Where do you see as kind of one of the primary geosteering challenges that have evolved or emerged in onshore unconventionals?
Now we're drilling up the top tier of unconventionals, and we're moving into tier 2 and tier 3, and some of those are more stratigraphically and structurally complex. So I think as companies get into those parts of the plays, things will get tougher, and you'll need more skilled people. If you have a lot of structure, not everybody can cope with that. It's not just something you can pick up and do quite right away. So I think geosteering is going to be more important as things go on in the next few years.
Definitely.
Absolutely. And Phil, I know that you've been a previous contestant, right? And a winner back in 2023. For everyone that's joining the call today, do you have any kind of tips, tricks, or advice on how they can be this year's 2025 Geosteering Champion of the World?
Well, I think maybe the ship's already sailed, but work on the simulator. You have to do a lot of other geosteering too, a lot of reinterpretations. And the faster you are in star steer, the better. To win, get a workstation and practice, and not just in the simulator too. So, those are my main things. But with the resistivity inversion, that's a new ball game.
That's right. It's changing a lot of different things now.
Especially right now with like this half hour with the competitors are going through.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's making a massive difference. Well, Phil, thank you so much for joining us, for coming on to the show. We really do appreciate it. And thank you so much for being a long supporter of the GWC, and also for continuously supporting us, right, through many of the different endeavors. We really appreciate now Geos Consulting, not only for what they're doing with Star Steer, but also within the broader geological community. And thank you again for joining us. We hope you have an amazing time in Aberdeen. I mean, that sounds fantastic.
Enjoy nature.
All right, guys. Thank you. I appreciate the time, and thanks for giving me the shout outs. And good luck to all the competitors, and hope to see a cool new winner.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining, Phil. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Phil.
Alrighty, and that was Phil Simchek from Now Geos Consulting. We also want to give a special shout out to one of our sponsors, Karma Dosher from Source Geosteering, who's been a longtime supporter and competitor, and also was the 2022 winner. So right before Phil.
I love how people who have been part of GWC in the past are coming back, participating, sponsoring, sharing advice. It's, as you said earlier, we're building community.
We're building community, exactly. And we'll dip over here to the poll 3 results. We'll have those shipped over to us pretty soon. And we can actually look at it right now. So when in doubt, what is your first go-to log? Wow, that is an overwhelming support for gamma ray.
Yeah.
That is massive. So 62% is...
I mean, it's good and it's available. So
you'd hope for the most part,
yeah.
right? Yeah. If possible, people would also like resistivity. That was at 14%. Density neutron came in at 12%. And then image logs was at 10%. So we'll be transitioning more and more results here in the chat pretty shortly. Oh, here we go.
Let's go.
It's time for the drink.
Poll results.
While we're getting our new surprise drink here in the mix, we're going to jump over to our leaderboards as well, Starlight, to showcase some of the different players. So we're going to pull up that here very shortly.
I should probably start pouring less. There we go.
Oh, this is very blue.
Yeah, so we had red, we had green, now we got blue.
Red, green, blue. Is the next one going to be orange?
we got some orange. Yeah. What have we got going on?
Toxic slime?
Sounds delicious.
This is almost as blue as our FRs. No. 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 That's not
Why not?
it.
It's delicious.
That is.
It tastes like, theoretically, it tastes like blue raspberry and orange. What it tastes like is blue.
You know what this tastes like? You know, like those special frozen popsicles you would have as a kid.
Yes.
But like melted.
The one that you just cut the top off?
Yeah.
With scissors?
Yeah, the ones that would come in like those net bags.
Right. That is exactly what it tastes like. You know what's crazy though?
Yep.
Most of these taste like Celsius, which we don't mind. Like Celsius, Monster, like none of them taste any different than this. It's just we've gotten used to those.
Oh, they really do. And speaking of which, since we're going with the color blue, we're going to transition over to the leaderboards, right? Where we're going to look at all the blue charts.
Let's go. Perfect transition.
So we're looking at the top 20 players for round 2 in our conventional well into our coal seam. Daniel Morse.
Daniel Morse.
Very consistent.
Staying steady.
You know, they've got that geo vision.
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, we were doing so well.
We're doing so well, only to come so far. So we've got Daniel Morris, who has a success score of 70, followed by Bad Mao, 66%. Rozone, that is surprising.
Yep, I mean.
Wow. So for those that are on the competition, Rozone, kind of like Frozone from The Incredibles, Rozone is our AI geosteering robot. So right now, Skynet is in the lead. We'll see for how long. But we've got some awesome competitors here as well. So we've got...
Wait, is that James Bond or Mission Impossible? For Skynet.
Terminator.
Terminator. Sorry.
I think.
Carlos is yet again disappointed in
Skyfall.
Skyfall.
I'm not there yet for karaoke solo. When the night falls.
There we go.
So we've got...
What does Adele have that we don't?
A lot.
Oh, thanks. That was a chorus of a lot from behind the camera you didn't hear. Thanks.
So we've got our friends over at Oxy, Patrick Tobin, who is in 7th place. We have some of our other contestants as well that are sort of battling out for the lead. One Fast Cat.
One Fast Cat.
They're still fast. Nothing's changed. Yeah.
What's One Fast Cat doing on the zone percentage?
Let's see. Actually, I don't think we see.
He's fast though.
He is pretty fast. Oh, we've got JT Price, which is in 8th place. Gustavo, 10th place. John Bulat, that is in 12th. Got Jeff in 15th. Daniel Morse, 2nd place when it comes to in-zone percentage.
Very cool.
But here, Zone Rider, they're actually going the fastest.
Zone Rider.
Love to see it.
Nice.
Lots of flexibility that's happening here. So as we continue looking at the leaderboards, we're going to jump into Starlight here for a quick update and start looking around at some of the different contestants and the top players. Here, we're going to go ahead and take a look at Bad Mao. Alrighty. So Sean, throughout the competition, how has it been? What do you think of the players so far?
I mean, I love the fact that there's been ups and downs. So we have people who were maybe higher in the unconventional versus conventional and vice versa. So that already shows that people have different experiences that they're implementing, and there are certainly others who are learning along the way as well. Again, maybe they're more used to conventional or unconventional. I also like that we can clearly see that some folks are super fast, some folks are super accurate, some are both. They're both important, and this is all good exercises. And as Phil was mentioning, it's important to get your practice in, and get your practice in before you're actually geosteering well, so then you can put all that to practice.
Absolutely. And we can see here, right, so we're taking a look at contestant number, or contestant in 3rd place, which is Bad Mao, hailing all the way from Asia. So they're based in China, and they're actually steering a pretty awesome well. I mean, look at this.
Oh, look at that.
They're following that inversion to a T. And even though their ROP isn't necessarily the highest, right? We have a small streak here where it's green, pretty high. We can pan through the rest of it. Notice that through the majority of the well, it's actually been an average ROP.
Yeah.
So that kind of goes to show, right? When we look at the broader context on how you're scaled, yes, ROP is an important factor, but really that in-zone percentage, right? Accounting for that 75% of the score, that's making a big difference. So we have Bad Mao that's in 3rd place. We can also take a look at our friends here in the US from Oxy. So we can take a look at Pat Tobin and how they are performing on their well. So we'll bring him up right over here. Let's see. Alrighty. All right, we'll be looking at Pat Tobin as they steer this well within the coal seam in offshore Australia. And we're actually going to see a pretty similar story to kind of what we were looking at with Bad Mao. Notice how the ROP isn't that high.
Right.
Absolutely. So we're having little spikes here and there, right? So we can notice those little kind of spikes of green throughout the remainder of the well.
Yeah, but that's doing a great job.
But look at the structure, right? So even despite kind of the changes, right? Look how thin this coal bed is.
And we're talking like 5 meters or so.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is requiring some quite precise geosteering here.
Which is awesome, because oftentimes, and this, like, if you are doing well, again, so we talked about, top 300-ish people in the world. Out of that, where do you rank among that? But also, we're dealing with 5 meters, 7 meters here. Oftentimes, when you're actually geosteering, you have a lot more than that to play with. So if you're doing well here, it means you're going to do really, really well in real life as well. But again, get your practice in.
Right, exactly. Get your practice in. And when we look back at the leaderboards, we're seeing Pat Tobin actually has jumped up to 3rd place, actually. Wow, look at that. So we're going to pull up the leaderboards here. Rozone, Skynet is still in 1st place. Daniel Morse is actually right behind it. I mean, we're talking about a difference of 0.2.
Yep.
Here. That is insane.
Again, we're back to Formula 1 numbers. And we've got Ned Flanders doing not so badly. That's awesome.
Absolutely. JT Price, which was previously in 15th place, has jumped up to the 6th position on the grid.
Mr. X was 20 about a minute or so ago. Now he's 18.
And the lateral legend hailing all the way from the circuit of Silverstone over in the UK. We've got Harry Collini, who's jumped up now to 16th on the grid, doing really well. And then we've got One Fast Cat in score of 62 back on the overall leaderboard. So we can see here, even in the final minutes of the round, right, it's still a very tight race.
It's a tight race.
Yeah, look at that. We've got Fernando who's jumped in here. I really hope that's Fernando Alonso. If only.
Yeah.
If only.
I mean, it's midweek, so what else has he got to do?
Right. Absolutely. We got Keith Gillis here, who's in 2nd place. We've got Mike Naka, who is in 3rd when it comes to the ROP. A-Rot is now here on the board, so we can see that he is the 4th fastest in terms of ROP. Right, so steering in there very fast. And we continue to monitor the leaderboards as we continue going.
Yeah.
So now that we've kind of taken a look at the leaderboards, we have one more interview that we would like to feature. We are joined also by another one of our teammates over at Edge. So we will be bringing on Dylan Miner as well as Matt Benson, who is from Petra Hunt. And this is going to be our 2nd interview for our platinum sponsors from Edge. So we're going to pan over to a brief 10-second break, and then we'll be right back to play the recording.
hosts that we've had. And then Matt, I know that you've geosteered tons of wells across different basins. How do you feel that the Geosteering World Cup, the metrics that we use compared to the real world, does it do a good job, or are there some more parts that are sort of lacking when it comes to measuring the success of a well?
Well, I mean, the way that I look at it is, I always think of it like March Madness, right? Like on any given day, the best team may or may not win, but what we look at is the best programs. So like, if you didn't do a great job in the Geosteering World Cup, does it mean you're a bad geosteer? If you win it, does it mean you're a great one? No. But if you look at it, you'll notice that the same names and the same companies are always up at the top. And like Duke or Arizona or University of Florida, go Gators. If you happen to see those same teams ending up at the top, that usually is a pretty good indicator of quality, in my opinion.
Absolutely. And Matt, what are your thoughts?
I mean, that seems pretty fair to me as an assessment. I think I've only actually had time to do like half of the Geosteering World Cup, and then I had to bail. That was back during one of the COVID years. But yeah, I think it's a good competition. It's good to be able to kind of see where everyone's at that has the time to be able to jump in and do it.
Yeah, bring the community together. Yep,
exactly.
Exactly. Bring all sorts from all around the world. I mean, we've got so many competitors based globally. We have a strong presence as well in Algeria this year, which is going to be amazing. But yeah, and like we were talking about before, right? It's sort of measuring those other kind of metrics, right? It's not just about the geology, but also factoring some of those financial, those economical positions, right? Drilling better wells, but also doing them at lower costs. But another thing that we're seeing kind of emerge is new technology. And Dylan, I know that Edge is doing a lot of cutting edge advanced geosteering techniques over there. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So we do. We've had a strong geosteering team for years and years. We also, obviously, here's the shill part, but we're platinum sponsors, so we can do that. So we don't just geosteer, though this is the Geosteering World Cup, but we have, I think, the most advanced well site services available on location. So if you guys are interested in things like real-time isotopes or XRF or FTIR or any of the other advanced services we offer, give us a call and we'll come out and give you the tech deck presentation. Anyway, okay, at the end of the sales pitch. So one of the things that we're looking at here is what Matt, I believe you call using the whole buffalo, what I call multi-dimensional or multi-domain geosteering. So if you think about traditionally we did 1D geosteering. That was we squiggle matched in gamma against a single type log. Then we had 2D, which is now we're starting to bring in multi-type wells. Then we had 3D. Now we're starting to bring in our cuttings analysis, XRF, FTIR, and then 4D, 5D, 4D being we're using all the different drilling parameters. I know Matt is a big fan of torque as an identifier that we can actually steer by. And then 5D will be when we start applying all this through neural network. So it's this multi-dimensional or we're utilizing that whole dang buffalo kind of perspective. I think his is probably a little bit more colorful. But that's something that we're doing over here to help provide a better understanding of the wells that we're steering and better outcomes for our clients.
Absolutely. Yeah, just to kind of jump in there. And what I mean by every part of the buffalo is, as Dylan pointed out, using a lot of the drilling parameters, because a lot of that is data you're getting currently. Well, not for free, but you're getting that data, whether you're paying for it or not, for the most part, on any well that's being drilled in North America. So should be using that in addition to your gamma, in addition to whatever rock data you can afford to collect. Mass spec being one of my favorites. And it's not necessarily like steering by torque, but torque does tell you a lot of useful things that you would then want to use on, say, if you're having issues tripping out a hole or issues with the frac or issues with the frac itself in terms of your completion. A lot of that you can try chasing back to torque, looking for different parts of the fabric there, like faults, fractures, that sort of thing. And I think, that's kind of what I mean by every part of buffalo, is using all of that information to get to kind of a more complete picture of the well and the offset wells and be able to connect the dots between them. And then to take the lessons learned from that, because like our job isn't done when the well TDs. It's, hey, how do we make a better well when we go to frac these? Hey, how do we make a better well when we go to drill similar wells somewhere nearby? And then using that can kind of continued learning process and not leaving any of this data just by the wayside.
Right. Yeah. The whole buffalo, right? No data behind. And it sounds like, Matt and yourself, Dylan, you've really developed these sort of elite programs when it comes to drilling these better wells, right? Like the Elite 8 in March Madness, maybe we have Buffalo Madness, but it sounds like everything, right, sort of all aggregated together. And, this was kind of a fun thing that we were all chatting about before, right? Python. Right, serving as kind of that aggregator for more agile or maybe better decision making. Right, you can combine all that historical data, or even those different advanced characterization techniques. So, Dylan, Matt, can you kind of share more about what you've experienced with kind of those new techniques as well?
Yeah, I think for me, the fact that StarShare had Python kind of built in as a plugin was a nice to have thing at first. Especially compared to some of the other geosteering softwares at that time, and really just in general, just because it was a way of getting. I was always a MATLAB guy, but it was a way of taking some of that coding experience and being able to implement some of that. And then, like, very quickly, it became almost a limitation. So I was getting to the point where, like, the data sets were getting too large to run it in the plugin itself. or if it would run, it would take it like I would have to sit there and let it run for 3 or 4 hours, and hopefully it can have time to update to the solo server before it crashes out from like inactivity or something. Like I was running into those limitations for a number of years there, but then with SDK more recently, kind of the shackles are off on that front, so that's been really exciting. I think Dylan, I think y'all have been doing some stuff on that front, right?
Yep, for sure. We say that Python and StarSteer was the gateway drug that introduced the normal operations geologist to the concept of coding. Like we all used MATLAB or something like that in college, and then we got into our jobs and we had kind of nothing. All of a sudden, Python was there. We started utilizing it. We ran into some of the same stuff Matt was talking about when I was doing Roji tech support, and of course in my career after Roji. Once that SDK toolkit became available to us, the ability to run calculations on massive data sets is a complete, and we have this rule, every time someone says the word game changer, we have to drink because it's a cliche. It became a complete game changer as far as what we're able to do away from the limitation of Python and StarSteer. And so now some of our clients have set it up so that we can work in their SDK. We have SDK internally, and we're able to actually start to pull some of that 4D and borderline 5D information that I was talking about earlier, because we can look at this whole data set without crashing literally the world.
Data unleashed. Absolutely. Yeah. Just like geosteering unleashed as well, right? I mean, now we have all the competitors. We have about 300 contestants from all across the globe that'll be competing all at the same time on 2 challenging wells. And Dylan and Matt, do you all have any kind of recommendations or advice for all the competitors out there as they kind of embark on these wells?
I'll take that one. So a lot of people don't know this, but I think it was after the 2019 World Cup. I was the host at that point, and we took all the data and we worked with a data science group out of Norway, and we were able to look through, because rarely do you have 200 of the world's best geosteers steer the exact same formation at the same time. And so we were able to look at what everybody did and try to identify were there any key pieces. And so one of the things that we found is that if you're a super splitter, like you can maybe paint that type well, but it leads to oversliding. So what I would say is everybody take a step back and think about things not as a geosteer, but as a geologist. You know, what do formations really do in your experience? Now, granted, these are not real wells, so you know we can do whatever. But realistically, that's one of the things we should always think about is how often does bed dip actually change? How often are we going to be running into faults in this particular area? And then utilizing all the information that Roji is going to provide you. And of course, good luck.
Absolutely. Matt, what are your thoughts?
I'll echo the good luck. I think I only ever made it through about a half of a Geosteering World Cup myself back during COVID. And then, yeah, got tied up with some other stuff. And yeah, I think if I were them, I just wouldn't stress about it. Like Dylan said, kind of not try to oversteer too small segments, just kind of take a breath, maybe lean back in the chair and let it come to you a little bit.
Go with the flow. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, rumor has it, maybe this, everybody can tell their bosses that if you win the Geosteering World Cup, Roji will give your company a discount next year.
Who knows?
Then all of a sudden, you wouldn't get distracted.
Now the competition's fierce, right? Exactly. Absolutely. But yeah, well, thank you so much, y'all. It's been an absolute pleasure. Best of luck to our competitors out there. I know that it is a very fierce competition, but with 300 geosteerers all across, it's going to be a fun one. So absolutely. Thanks again, y'all. And thank you again for Edge for being a platinum sponsor, keeping the show going. We really appreciate it. Thanks again, y'all.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, guys.
And we are live here from the Houston offices in Roji. We're going to take a quick look at the leadership board, see how people are comparing here in round 2 of our conventional coal seam round. And first place.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Daniel Morris is now ahead of everyone.
Of literally everyone. He's ahead of Skynet. He's ahead of all the other competitors.
He manifested destiny. Well done, Daniel Morris.
So here's the really awesome fact about Daniel. So did you know that he is an ex-technical analyst from Roji?
I did not know that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So Daniel was an ex-Roji.
So he knew how to defeat Skynet from inside.
I guess he had the inside job.
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly. So Daniel, over at GeoVision, previously with Roji, it's amazing to see you at the top of the leadership boards, cheering you on. Just like Jackie in the chat, we are hoping. Absolutely. Looking at the rest of them, Rozone still in second place.
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
That's the GeoVision crew. That's a supportive crew.
Absolutely.
Look at that, Daniel. I still need an autograph from Sean Palmer. I'm just putting it out there.
Both of us.
Yes.
Well, you know what's awesome about the GeoVision crew? You know that they competed in some previous years and they actually had all the Hawaiian shirts.
That's right.
Yeah.
Was that the year they won?
I think so. That might have been.
Okay.
Possibly?
Yeah.
I think next year for the GWC in 2026, instead of the FRs, we need to have Hawaiian shirts.
I'm down.
I agree.
I'm down.
Perfect. One Fast Cat here in 11th place. Fernando is in 10th place. WTH is in 9th. We've got Islam El-Sabdi, who is from ADNOC, who is in 8th place.
Let's go, ADNOC.
We've got JT Price from
Company.
Saudi Aramco, who's in 7th place. We've got Ace. We've got R. Nevzorov.
Go
Mikhail
humans, go.
Yakunin, Justin Skaggs. Absolutely. JT, Daniel's the man. Dan the man. There you go. We've got Team NP, K-Mope. We've got Gwalter, John Galt, Gian, Kamarab, Dylan Stewart, and Mihai. Those are our top 20 players here. Let's take a look at the in-zone percentage and average ROP.
One Fast Cat. Meow.
I mean, is it meow or meow? Is Neil deGrasse Tyson here? Oh, we've got Jeff Kriz, who's the second fastest player. Jeff is also an ex-Roji employee as well.
Jeff.
Yeah, over at Beloy, so we see that. Dylan Stewart, who is the third fastest. If we go over here, top 20 players in zone percentage, Daniel Morris is in first place, followed by Justin Skaggs, and Rozone, that's in third, but JT.
All right, shout out to JT Price's wife.
Absolutely.
For probably the best comment in the chat, who was cheering on her husband, saying, "Go, JT, go." And
JT.
much nicer things that I'm so proud of you. You're amazing, and that kind of cool stuff.
But you know, that's kind of the amazing thing too, right? It's just like, yes, this is a competition, but it's like it's bringing that whole community together.
It is a family event.
Exactly.
Clearly.
Yes. So cheering on for everyone. We know we've got a big crowd over from GeoVision. We've also got our wonderful friends from Saudi cheering on. ADNOC has a big contingency as well. And also we had like 30 or 40 contestants from Algeria.
Yes.
Just insane.
That's pretty great. Also, so just because we mentioned ADNOC and Aramco a couple of times, like we're looking at unconventionals and conventionals, obviously, but and we had Nada from ADNOC talking about the carbonates. But again, it's important to see that this is being used for both conventional and unconventional use cases, and the fact that both Saudi and UAE are going after a lot of unconventionals in their own reservoirs. That's important for them to kind of start again putting that practice in, and it's good to see that we have that folks active in that part of the world.
Absolutely. And Sean, I know that we were looking at the numbers right before this. Do you know if you have a quick look at the country breakdown of people that are on the show?
Let's do that.
Let's take a quick
Let's
look.
bring that up. All right, so we have 16%. Again, like you may think, this might be like 70-80% US, but we're looking at 16% of the participants from the United States. 15%, right just behind US, is Algeria.
Wow.
14% is Canada, 11% Argentina, 5% Nigeria, 4% Colombia, 3% Saudi, 3% UAE, Venezuela, Norway, Kazakhstan, and so on. So yes, it is truly an international competition. We're happy to have everybody from around the world playing and drilling, geosteering, going through conventional and unconventionals with us.
Absolutely. And just like we saw, right, with Valderrama in 10th, right? So we have Colombia that's cheering on, Saudi, Nigeria. I mean, really, this is truly a global event. So
it is indeed.
Absolutely. So we'll dive over here to the Starlight screen. What we'll be looking at is JT Price as kind of results so far. So just for reference, JT is in third place overall for the conventional well. And we can see here resistivity really helping him a lot to his advantage. I mean, look how that is just discerning that coal seam. And when we start to look at that ROP, he's actually having some pretty good spikes and nice continuity in some of those faster zones there.
Yeah, no wonder people like resistivity when we had that other poll earlier.
Absolutely, yeah. It's kind of fascinating, you know, sort of the collective theme that we've seen on this is really consolidation of data.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Integrating from different platforms, different data types.
All in one place. That conversation with Edge was great, and talking about the integration. So yeah, the more data you have, the more integrations you have, the better the end result is going to be, because together we're going to be stronger.
Right, absolutely. And that goes back to what our guests were also talking about as well, right? When we were looking at ADNOC, or when we were talking with Devon or YPF, or, you know, even Dan from Innova, right? We're seeing it not just across different worlds, but also different kind of verticals as well.
Right.
Geoscience, drilling, aggregating as much as possible. And I think that, you know, Carl and Dylan, as well as Matt Benson, right? They highlighted this very well. The more data you have, yes, it is more complex, but you're also getting a bigger picture of what's down there. Right.
If you have the tools to interpret that data, bring it on.
Exactly, for sure. So now that we've kind of looked at our leaderboards, right, we'll just do a quick recap. So Daniel Morris is in first. Justin Skaggs is in second place. We got JT Price in third. Rozone has been officially bumped out of the top 3. That's right. AI will fall. So... And so now we'll prepare to go to our last interview. We're going to talk with the wonderful Dr. Hansford. So Joanna is going to be joining us over from the UK, and we'll be talking about some of the attendance over at ICE over in Rio. So this is going to be in Brazil. So we'll be joining with her in just a few moments.
Do we have the poll 4 results yet?
Oh, that's right. We forgot about poll 4.
Yeah.
You know what that means?
What does that mean?
It's time for the specialty drink.
This is going to be the last drink of the day, which is probably best for our health.
Absolutely.
All right.
Oh, Lord. So, while Sean pours
this one, I'm going to, I don't know if you, did you read it?
I did not read it.
Okay, cool. I'm going to let you drink it first and tell me all the tones that you taste in there. You do have French blood in you, right? So, like,
exactly.
there you go.
This
is
is
je ne sais quoi.
So, as we try this mystery drink, we're going to announce our final poll results. So, what do you think will most transform geosteering in the next 5 years? It looks like AI and automation is number 1 at 49%. So that means half of the poll respondents, right? They think that AI and automation is really going to be the next path forward. And then residual, right there in the second response, second highest response, we had machine learning predictions. So we're seeing this collective trend of AI, right, and automation that's coming into the picture.
Right.
Cloud-based collaboration and high-resolution LWD tools, they're kind of in the same mix.
Right.
Still important, but it really seems that in the next 5 years, it's AI that's going to make the difference and build off of kind of those multiple data.
And it's important to have the cloud, it's important to have the AI, and it's important to have the people using all those tools to improve geosteering year over year.
Absolutely. And it's as important to have an amazing co-host such as Sean that feeds these wonderful drinks.
Wonderful drinks.
There we go.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, you can't get any.
Whoa, what is this?
I know what it is and I can't smell it. Oh, God. I mean, that's great. Oh, I'm glad we left this to the end.
This tastes like a 2x4.
You want to take a guess at an edible item?
I don't know. That's not possible. It's peanut butter and jelly. It's peanut butter and jelly. That's so odd. It tastes like a 2x4. Oh, Lord.
All right. We're going to have to finish it. This doesn't...
Exactly. Yeah. But you know what? I'll do it with you, Sean. No problem. Thank you. That was wonderful.
You're very welcome.
It has a nice vintage, you know. Yeah. So peanut butter and jelly, liquid form, available in a market near you. Alrighty.
Hey, Joanna.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Dr. Hansford. How's everything?
Good, good. Yeah, good to see you.
It's good to have you on the show. Thanks for joining us. What time is it over in the UK?
It's just past 7 p.m.
Oh, so dinner time.
Yeah, soon.
Yeah. Nice. Don't recommend a peanut butter and jelly soda.
I will take a note.
For sure. Well, Joanna, it's a pleasure having you on the show. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? I know that you're all over with Roji.
Oh, yes. Well, that's a way to describe me, I suppose. But
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, so I'm the regional manager for Europe at Roji, but I also cover Brazil too. So I am, as Julian says, all over, I suppose. But yeah, I just manage our customer relationships over there and make sure everybody's happy with our technology, but also like support our brand awareness and exposure, attending conferences and things like that. Yeah.
Absolutely. And we'll be continuing the conversation about geosteering.
Where are we going to continue the conversation, Julianne?
I don't know. Joanna, where are we going to be in early October?
Well, in early October, we're going to be at the AAPG ICE conference in Rio de Janeiro. Yes, it's very exciting. I'm actually very pleased to go because it's starting to get cold in Europe, and I know it will be much warmer there.
Absolutely, yes. What were the name of the special sandals?
Havaianas.
That's
if you don't have them, you need them for the beach. So grab them.
I'm heading to Amazon right after this. Literally.
Very good.
Absolutely. And Joanna, so tell us a little bit about how you wanted to become a geologist or a geoscientist, and what is your favorite rock?
My favorite rock? Oh gosh, that's a good question. I'd have to think about that one. Could it be a fossil?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Could I say trilobite, because they're quite interesting actually.
They are pretty nice. I feel like most geologists have some kind of a trilobite as a decoration in their house.
Oh, 1000%.
Very
or
good.
even an ammonite.
Ammonites are cool too. Very cool. So I became a geologist because I thought engineering might be a little bit too boring. Is that a good answer?
Same. Yes. Yeah.
But geoscience is really fun, and I thought it would be great to have a career in geoscience and get to travel the world, which is what I do. So I'm very pleased with how it all turned out.
Absolutely.
I want to give a shout out to the person who's in the chat and confused because somehow YouTube recommended this live stream to them and they don't know what the heck this is. Welcome to the Geosteering World Cup. This is an annual event hosted by Roji. You get a bunch of nerds in front of, behind the camera, behind the screens all around the world. 300 people, 300 plus, competing to steer wells around. We got conventional, unconventional. So, welcome. Hopefully, that helps clarify some of the, help with the confusion.
For sure. It's almost like a subsurface video game in many ways. Yeah. I like that. Reason in the chat, gents. Absolutely. So yeah, basically people just trying to kind of place a well, several thousand feet below the surface and in the most accurate way possible. Yeah.
Thanks, Corey. That's coming up soon, actually. Not too far from where we are.
That's right.
Yeah, like if y'all are, if you got your $6,000 tickets bought already, it's this is gonna be one of the few, maybe the only World Cup that you can buy and resell tickets openly.
Oh, really?
I think so. Yeah, like you can buy it for $60 and sell it for $6,000 if you want. Like, as an unfortunate Man United fan, I can't. Like, if you buy a United ticket, you are not allowed to sell those tickets on open market.
Oh wow!
And you can't even sell it back to United either.
Oh really?
Yeah, you're kind of stuck with it. So like they want to make sure you have full suffrage.
Oh man, there you go. And Joanna, what are you the most excited about that's coming up in Brazil just in a few weeks?
About the ICE conference.
Yes, yeah, about the fun conference.
Well, no, I think that's going to be a really good event actually, because we are bringing in people. Well, it sort of like brings people from all around the world. So obviously we're going to go and visit our customers in Brazil. But it's an opportunity to speak to people from around the world. So that's fantastic. We also have a presentation. So you heard earlier during the World Cup from Angela Rodriguez, who is our Argentina manager. She's actually presenting during the ICE conference. So I'm very excited to hear her presentation. So that's on geosteering workflows for the unconventional reservoirs. And she's presenting a case study. So I think that will be really worth watching. And we will have a fantastic booth, of course, with lots of live demos and updates. So, you know, if you're curious to learn more about our technology, what we're doing, what's coming next, I think it would just be fantastic place to stop by, say hello, introduce yourself to the team. Quite a few of us going actually this year, so that will be fun. You included, right, Julian? Gonna be there.
Yes.
So yeah, I think it will be really a good event. And yeah, so stop by and say hello to us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and also for anyone who's maybe on the fence as far as whether they should go to ICE International Conference and Exhibition in Rio or not. Again, this is another reason. It's not only is a great conference for networking. Not only do you have folks from all across South and Latin America present there, but you will also have a lot of technology talks. You will have a lot of energy policy talks. So if you haven't signed up yet, this is a good opportunity to go on the APG ICE website and sign up for the conference.
Absolutely. And one other note, if you're really a geo fan and you like field work, there are also some field work events there too. So you can actually get out into the field and maybe find your favorite rock.
There you go.
Absolutely. Love it. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Joanna. It's been an absolute pleasure. For everyone that is on the call, Joanna is one of our technical experts that works with a lot of our clients based in Europe as well as in Brazil. And she's been fantastic to collaborate with and will be leading all of our efforts over at the AAPG ICE International Conference and Exhibition Conference taking place the first week of October, and also supporting a fantastic Young Professionals initiative, which will be taking place the weekend right after the conference.
Right after. We got a 4-day conference and 2 days of Young Professional and Student event right after.
Absolutely. So thank you, Joanna, for making a profound difference in the geoscience community and also supporting future leaders.
Thank you very much.
Alrighty.
Just as a side note, just because you mentioned the YP student chapter thing, I just want to point out how important that event is, because I've been to the domestic ones in Tulsa, Oklahoma, in Houston, elsewhere, as well as domestic U.S., as well as international ones, and it's I've been in the industry for about just over 13 years now. It's fascinating and beautiful to me when I see people at conferences in Houston now that I knew when either when I was a student or a young professional, or later on I saw them as young professionals, students at these conferences. Now they are leading workflows and departments in different companies around the world. So it's important to invest in students and young professionals at events and conferences like this.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, and I mean, we've worked with the organizing committee now for several years. I remember, actually, funny enough, that's how we both met.
That is true. Mexico City.
I mean, really, I think it was at another conference, but when Sean and I really got to know one another, it was at the
Energy Opportunities.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
It was at Energy Ops, which was in Mexico City back in
2023.
That's right.
March 23. Energy Opportunities, Mexico City.
Yeah.
And Julian, over the years, has done a lot of great work for AAPG and other conferences, leading a lot of these young professional communities and events, and the immediate past co-general chair of the AAPG SEG conference.
For image.
So, yeah.
No, and I mean honestly, all of this couldn't be possible without you, Sean. So
Oh.
yeah, you've been a great guiding mentor for several years now. I'm glad that we can share a platform like this together.
I'm here for emotional support.
Always, yeah. And that's how we bring in fantastic people into the community. So we have Stackode, who is in our chat learning more about geology. Welcome. You are absolutely always welcome. When we talk about rocks, we talk about cool wells.
I love that.
Yeah.
She or he is still in the chat.
Absolutely. We got great people. Jackie, JT, we're all here.
Thank you, new friend. Love it.
Exactly. So we want to give a special shout out as well. So we're looking back at the 2025 conventional leaderboard. We have Mikhail Yakunin, who is in 3rd place right now. He is representing CNRL, and actually CNRL has over 16 different contestants competing in the GWC this year. So it is really a stacked competition here. We have Daniel Morris, right, with Geo.
Wait, is that most of how much of the Canadian crew is that?
See, let's do some quick maths here. Right.
Well, good on you. Good on you all for joining.
Absolutely. So just representation alone, right, from Canada, we have about 5% of the competitors are from CNRL.
There you go.
Give
Boom.
or take, right? So, and that's just CNRL. Right?
Yeah.
There's also Synovus. There's some other companies, right, that are also participating.
I think they were 11%. 14% Canada.
So you're saying that about a third of the Canadian contestants are CNRL.
That's what it seems like.
That's pretty big.
Yeah. Good on y'all.
For sure. So looking here at the leaderboard, right? Oh, man, I'm not really seeing Rozone anymore. I think our AI just kind of fell off there.
I'm just really happy to see, and for the record, I don't know any of these people in person, so yes, I'm picking favorites, but for no reason other than just names. I'm just happy to see Daniel Morris. I mean, you can't with a name like is ahead of, and then one fast cat. There's only one place they need to be.
That honestly,
and that goes for everyone. Manifest destiny.
This is crazy.
Oh, where's Ned Flanders?
Oh, let's take a look. Hold on.
Okay, cool.
Ned Flanders is in the top.
I apologize to everyone who, like a professional, chose their real name, and we're not even reading your names out loud.
So we're going to go over here and switch over to Starlight. We're going to take a look at Mikhail's geosteering interpretation here. Very similar to some of the other contestants, right? When we look at the resistivity, really, that's been a huge help for a lot of geoscientists to stay in zone. So this is Mikhail from CNRL, right? And we can look at the resistivity. Well path here is kind of in this darker gray or this kind of thicker line there, right? Notice how well in zone we are. I mean, this is really impressive. Also, some of the other things that we're seeing in the background, notice how we kind of have this yellow shading. That's going to be one of your kind of background volumes here that's going to highlight your gamma ray. So we can turn this on and off there to sort of visualize things, right? So this is going to be showcasing a lot more of what they have as sort of in their view here. And when we continue to look at the leaderboards, it is continuing to change. We even have in 13th, the Moose from KSA.
Oh, Saudi. Okay.
Yes.
Cool. I expected Canadian. I was like, wait, that's not. Yeah.
All over. And so, based off of this,
is the Moose from KSA a Canadian in Saudi, or for any in the audience, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia? That is KSA. I'm just curious if Moose from KSA is a Canadian, an expat in Saudi.
I wonder. That'd be kind of fun. Yeah. And based off of the results here, we noticed that Mikhail is also the 3rd highest in terms of in-zone percentage. So really kind of steering to victory, right? Notice here how we have this kind of different structure that we were talking about in the Geo Prognosis, right? So you can see there's a clear offset here, right, in some of these different coal seams. And again, even though it looks quite thick, these zones, incredibly thin. It looks like JT knows the
JT knows the Moose. All right, now I think the Moose. Kind of like the boss. Moose. An American in Saudi. Okay.
I love it. Huh. Oh, no, it's amazing. But yeah, this is exactly what the GWC is all about, right? I mean, this competition is absolutely
an
fierce.
American in Saudi. Ooh.
Is that the new single?
I'm an American.
And we're getting very, very close to the end of round 2. So we want to highlight there's about 2 more data pushes left. So here in about the next 10 minutes or so, give or take, is when we're going to start kind of finalizing everything. And then we'll start calculating all the different scores. So if you are still kind of in that 4th to 6th position, fret not. There is still an opportunity to overtake some of the other competitors, right? It is all the way down to the very, very end. So here we can see Justin Skaggs has jumped up to 4th place. We've got John Galt, who's in 5th. And we've got K-Mope in 6th. Islam El-Labsi, that's in 7th place. Kozak in 8th. One Fast Cat. He's in 9th. He's going, meow. Nathan Davis in 10th. We've got Stellar Sky in 11th. Dylan Stewart in 12th. Ned Flanders in 13th. And then we have Gion in 14th. The Moose in KSA is 15th. We've got Julie in 16th. The lateral legend himself in 17th place. Fernando 18th. Pat Tobin in 19th. And finally Bruno in 20th place. So it's still anyone's game.
Bruno. the only good thing about Man United. Sean, training with you. Oh, look at that. Wait, I know One Fast Cat? Oh, I know a celebrity.
Wait, you're kidding.
Look at that.
Look at
that. I remember that training. Okay, for anyone who's not reading the chat, One Fast Cat. Sean, I went to Petra Training with you in 2028 in Texas. One Fast Cat. That's awesome.
I love it.
I'm gonna take a guess that you didn't introduce yourself as one Fast Cat back then, but that's really cool.
That's amazing. I mean, it just shows you, right? It's
That's like 7 years ago. I'm a geologist. I don't do math, but yeah.
That's still Holocene, right? That's not too far. Quaternary. We got Sean Meager. Mikhail is my hero.
Nice.
No, absolutely. So Sean, throughout the competition, right, we've sort of seen different geological backgrounds. We've had an unconventional well, we had a conventional well, different data types, kind of seen some fierce rivalry over some of the contestants. What do you think GWC 2026 is going to look like?
Honestly, I feel like it's getting better and better every year. I've been following for, when was Keith's year?
Keith was 3 years ago.
Was it 3?
Was it 3 or 4?
I think maybe it was 4 years ago.
It was 4, right?
Because that was the first year I started tuning in and watching.
Yeah.
And he did an incredible job, and I think year after year, like the fact that he did such a great job with the foundations of being an awesome host.
Right.
That really helped the competition growing year after year. We're seeing such an incredible international presence from all around the world. Engagement. We have random people who join the stream and stick around for, what is it now, 20, 30 minutes that, what is it? Stack code?
Yeah.
Saint A code is on. I think we're going to build on this next year. I think it's going to be an incredible GWC 2026.
Right. No, absolutely. And you captured it really well, right? I mean, if we look at the overall progression, sort of the first host for the GWC, it started off with Dylan Miner. And then over the years, we've had people like Keith Rivera, we've had Adam Martin, right? And we've kind of grown to where we are now. And really, it's been this collective, kind of push from everyone previous, still at Roji, right, to continue building upon it. And even if they're not currently at Roji, right, we see them all across.
And we're seeing so many former Roji folks on competing right now.
Exactly. Yeah. No. So it really is a community event to kind of push everyone up and encourage each other and see who has the best possible well. So absolutely. We just had a breaking news report. The last data push is going to take place in about a minute or so. So this will be the last one. So be sure to lock in to your interpretation, right? This is going to be the last one. This could make the difference between that 0.2% success criteria, right, on those wells. So we're tracking live on the leadership board here. It is a fierce race. I mean, we're coming down to just between second and third place. It's a difference of 1%. The difference between fourth place as well as fifth place is 0.8%. I mean, it is coming down to the wire here.
JT Price.
And just for context, right, we have, in terms of the highest score right now, first place is Daniel Morris, who is ahead of question mark, who has a score of 76%. Just to highlight it, right, all the way in 20th place, it is 64%. So actually, right here, right, in terms of all the competitors, there's about maybe a 10% difference in those scores. So it's really going to come down to the wire.
Yeah, not massive. There's still a chance for anyone. It's anyone's game. Oh, come on, Fast Cat. We distracted you with the chat. Focus, man, focus.
Lock in. So we're going to pan over to leadership boards. We're going to keep it. We're going to keep tracking it live here as we have those last few results that come in.
So as we do that, let's dig through this a little bit more.
Oh boy, is it time for the dad joke?
Welcome to the random dad joke. There we go.
All right, let's see. I'm just going to dig it. Gonna go all the way to the bottom.
Go for it.
All right. What do we have? This is kind of fitting to end this being the last dad joke at the end of the competition. Knock knock.
Who's there, Julian?
Target.
Target who?
Target zone, which we just drilled right past.
Boom! Carlos loved that.
Plot twist. All the dad jokes were.
Oh, he just left the room, literally. Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. Carlos has had enough of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got Corey. He approves.
No? Okay.
No.
We try.
Oh, man. Alrighty. So, coming down to the wire, first place, it looks like it's going to be Daniel Morris, who is ahead of the curve. Second place, it's looking like JT Price. We've also got Michael Yakunin, who is in third place from CNRL. We've got Justin Skaggs, John Galt, K-Mope, Kozak, Islam, Nathan, as well as One Fast Cat, continuing to climb the leaderboards here. Oh, wow. This is really going to come close here. Good deal. Let's take a look at the average ROP and percent in zone. So it looks like we've got Daniel, who is the 5th fastest there. One Fast Cat still ahead in terms of ROPs, drilling fast, drilling smooth. Got Monica here in 12th, Zone Rider in 15th.
We got more emotional support from family members. My brother's here, proud of you.
Love that.
We don't know who your brother is, but we're proud of him too.
Same thing to Jackie. Yeah, absolutely. Everyone beat Rozone. So Rozone could not stay in the zone. Got a few congratulations that are coming through as well. Daniel and JT battling out as friendly rivals. All right. I know that as we start to conclude here, round 2, we are also going to start consolidating and calculating the overall winner. So, Sean,
yes,
how
sir.
is the overall winner calculated?
You tell me.
Just add them up.
There you go. Math.
Quick math.
Yeah, we got unconventionals and we got conventionals, and you'll find out who the winner of the whole competition has been.
Absolutely. Yep. So the way that's going to be calculated, we're going to take the results from round 1 and we're going to add that with the round 2 results. So it's going to be a total sum. And basically from that, we'll then rank all of our competitors and kind of announce them here live on the show. As we're kind of preparing to do that, we're going to go ahead and pan back to the previous leaderboards for the unconventional round, just to highlight that a little more.
As you're bringing that up, I'm going to call you Code because I don't know what the full state code.
Code name.
It's for anyone who wasn't here a few minutes ago. That's our random new friend who is not in geosteering but came upon our live stream at random and has now, based on chat, has discovered a career path, which is awesome. So not only have we helped geologists, geoscientists, and geosteerers, we have potentially found a new geosteerer. So
absolutely. Welcome to the fray.
Algeria represent in the chat.
I love it. From Gilles. Gilles? Is it Gilles?
You're the French guy.
Maybe, yeah. For sure. So here we're going to pan over back to our unconventional leaderboard results. So we're going to look at who were the top players from the first round. This is going to be really important because these scores will have a direct effect, right, on the final placement calculations. So it could be really tough Daniel
wow.
was in 20th place, but now he's in first.
Yes.
So could he take the gold?
Daniel JT.
It's going to be huge. We had last year's Geosteering World Champion, Arat, who was number 1, right, in round 1. We don't see him yet on the leaderboards for the conventional well, but you still don't know, right? We have JT Price here, who is at 13th place for the unconventional round. JT is now second in the first round, so it could be quite contentious.
Then Daniel is first and JT is second in conventional, right? There we go.
Absolutely.
We saw in the chat, rivals for life.
Yeah.
They're having a good time in chat, the two of them.
What's been also really interesting is when we look at the lateral legend, right? He has been super consistent.
For the record, that's what he named himself.
Yes.
He may be a legend. No disputing here.
When it comes to laterals, absolutely. But I mean, this is amazing, right? I mean, this has been pure consistency because when we look at the placement, right, in the first round, 15th place, in the second round, 14th place. I mean, that has been the most consistent kind of placement that we've had there throughout the competition.
And again, it's important to point out, again, a reminder that this is from all around the world, like 300 plus people. And if you're 20th, if you're 100th, that's still not only from the 300 people from around the world, but also that's out of everyone around the world. So yeah, these are pretty great results.
Exactly. And we're also going to look at kind of our average or percent in zone percentage. So when we're kind of looking at from the first round, notice that we have the lateral legend JT as well as Daniel, right? 14th, 16th as well as 20th respectively. When we go over to the conventional round, which is just concluding, we notice that Daniel was actually the first. He was the highest with the percentage in zone. JT Price was second. And then when we look at the lateral legend, they were in 10th place, right? So it's kind of interesting to see how they're all kind of sort of in the same area.
And they're locked in. They're good at what they do. They're locked in and focused the whole time.
Absolutely. For sure. And as we start finalizing here the round 2 results, we'd be curious to hear from everyone that is in the chat here live on YouTube, sort of what has been your favorite part about the GWC? What did you love? What would you love to see next year? Is it more data? Is it harder wells? Is it another well? Are we interested in a third round, right, to continue the competition? We're very curious to hear more from you guys and see how we can continue improving it year over year.
JT, how dare you?
Look at that.
Gotta go to work now. It's just like I've done enough. I'm not even paying attention the last couple minutes, and I'm still gonna do well.
Absolutely. This is like a small, warm up for.
Is your wife watching? Will she tell you how you did?
Absolutely.
I love this.
For sure.
I don't know, but all these numbers look interesting.
Numbers, they're relative.
Dynamic.
Geology ball. I have a gut feeling who that is.
Who? Oh, no way.
Is that who I think it is?
Yes, it is.
Is it the Axum Jacks?
It is Axum Jacks. It is the ooh la la Richard William Ball.
All the way from Nacogdoches.
All the way from Nac.
Should we do it for him? No, we can't do that.
Yeah. I don't know what the ooh la la thing is,
yeah,
but also like this,
yeah.
for the record, like this is not an offensive, aggressive sign to anyone outside of Texas. It's supposed to be axes that
Axum Jacks.
Stephen F. Austin folks do. I mean, I'm an Aggie, so I can't really.
It's okay. I'll do it for you. There you go.
Hey.
There you go. Just for you, Sean.
This makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, okay. For everyone tuning in internationally, we have a fierce rivalry. For
there you go. Okay.
So
Mrs. JT Price is watching.
Love that.
Thanks for the comment, Richard Ball, COO and co-founder of Red Stag Resources.
Exactly. No, that's
Enterprise. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Awesome.
Now I have a name. Instead of Mrs. JT Price.
And we're only moments away from who gets to win this amazing
There
trip.
we go. There
Yeah.
we go.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever's going to win it, I hope you have enough shelf space behind you so it could be in your every Zoom background.
Absolutely. Alrighty. And it looks like here we are starting to get our final results that are coming in potentially. Just waiting to hear. Alrighty, so we're going to take a look back here. So now that we're going to switch over to the conventional round. So we're going to look at round 2 results. These are the final confirmed places, right, for round 2. So in first place for the second round of the conventional well, we have Daniel Morse, who was in first place. And then followed very closely by JT Price, who was in second place. We also have Mikhail Yakunin, who is in third place. Fourth place is Justin Skaggs, John Galt in fifth, K-Mope 6th, Kozak 7th, Islam in 8th, Nathan Davis, that is in 9th, One Fast Cat, Shake and Bake, 10th place. Meow! I'll never get old of that. I love it. We got Dylan Stewart in 11th, Stellar Sky in 12th, Ned Flanders 13th, Lateral Legend, Harry himself, that is in 14th. We got Julie and Gian Fernando 15th, 16th, 17th. The Moose in KSA 18th, Moose. Patrick Tobin here in Houston 19th place, and we've got Bruno in 20th.
Bruno.
So congratulations to all of our round 2 winners. We are starting to consolidate the final placement results, and just a heads up, the studio is going nuts right now, actually, because the results are actually going to surprise everyone.
You can't see what's going on behind the camera.
Yeah, we're running the final checks here. We just have to triple check, because this might be a first time that we have here in the chat. This is going to be insane. Let's see.
So, and as you're doing that, gonna need a. Well, I can update my LinkedIn with my score. Nice. Shout out to Peter. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Trey. Trey Cortez, geologist extraordinaire from Fort Worth, Texas, Burnett Oil Company. We'll see you in Fort Worth soon, sir. Yes, indeed.
Absolutely. Oh, Lord.
Oh, and general chair or co-general chair, I think general chair of the AAPG, is it Southwest section?
Southwest
section in Fort Worth. Incredible job done a few months ago in Fort Worth. I think these events have a couple of hundred attendees. Trey's event had at least 100. I think a couple of hundred more than the usual at the Fort Worth Club, downtown Fort Worth. Excellent talks, excellent content, excellent networking, incredible event.
Absolutely. You know, I kind of feel sad that I wasn't able to go to it, because I heard that it was absolutely amazing. And the poster presentations were great, too.
I still have a couple of photos to post. They may or may not have said, "We're your best country," and I may or may not have shown up in a cowboy hat, and may or may not have been the only person who showed up in a cowboy hat. Yeah.
Maybe we should get cowboy hats for Roji.
Yes.
That'd be... I should stop.
Yeah. Don't give Christina ideas.
I love it. Alrighty, we're getting the final results here. It's coming in. It's going to be really, really close.
Which, by the way, speaking of Christina, I just want to give a massive shout out to Christina Fortunato at Roji for just incredible job at marketing and promoting this event and keeping us on track. You don't see what's going on behind the cameras, but thank you so much, Christina.
Yeah, a massive shout out to Corey Wiley, Carlos Yanez, Mark Lim, Christina, Josh, who is our AV expert, who's made this amazing production level quality possible, supporting us through all this. Carlos Yanez, Rafa, all of our amazing guests are fantastic sponsors, right? Big shout out to Edge, as well as Source Geosteering, now Geos, Innova, GeoX Pro, Columbine, and Beloy. Hint, the mystery drink is probably whiskey. Who knows? That's why we have the coffee cups. So really everyone possible. And also, we cannot thank enough all the support that we're having in Canada as well. So Pavel Dorofeev, we also have Balpreet Dada, we have Mohammed Aslan, right, that has been helping us through all this. All the technical team across from Roji that has set this up, run through multiple simulators. It is actually amazing how much people have been supportive throughout this. So now this brings us to the announcement of the winners. This is a first time, unseen before. We have our first back-to-back champion, Arat Sabirov
How
from
about that?
Saudi Aramco.
I almost high-fived you, but neither one of us actually won.
We did it.
Congrats, A-Rod.
This is insane. So
that's really cool.
Just for the breakdown, the difference between second place and first place was a mere 0.2 points. It is fractional. First place is A-Rot, who had a total score of 140.18. In second place, it was the fabled, famous JT Price.
JT Price.
139.89. This is insane. We have Ryan Grieco from CNRL over in Canada with a score of 139.06. So separation between second and third place was only about 0.8 points.
And then Daniel Morris was ahead of a lot of people.
Absolutely. Yes, he had a final score of 138.49. We have Kevin Glass here in fifth place. Petronas in Canada, who had a score of 137.59. We had player 320, who remained anonymous, but don't worry, we'll be sure to
All
share.
that tells me is that player 320 does not mess around. It's like I don't care about all these like name nonsense. I'm number 320.
He was ready. He had a score of 136.68. We have Gary Marshall from Power Marshall Consultant that had a score of 136.1. Then we have Casey Midoun, who is from Sonatrach. So this is probably the first time we've had Algeria contest so high.
I mean, it paid off. Algeria, what was it, 15%? Just about 15% of the folks who were from Algeria. Congrats. You placed top 10, which is incredible.
That is massive. That is 8th place. Yes. So 8th place, we have Casey, who had a score of 135.89. Do you want to announce 9th place?
The lateral legend.
The lateral legend himself, Harry Collini, hailing from the UK with BP, scored 133.17. And then we also have 10th place.
Ali Al-Mutawa.
Al-Mutawa.
From Saudi Aramco, which sums up 3 out of top 10 are from Saudi Aramco.
That's insane.
That is, congrats to Aramco for all the talent they have there.
Wow. Yes. So Ali had a score of 132.24. If we look at the total breakdown, right, the differences in points between first place to 10th place is about a difference of give or take 8 points total. So razor thin margins over there. Absolutely.
Yep.
Oh, this just in, breaking news. Player 320 is not anonymous. We shall reveal the great masked legend himself. It is Dylan Stewart.
Boom.
Boom. Impact Exploration Services based here in the U.S. Congratulations, Dylan, on placing here as 6th place on the Geosteering World Cup. That is so huge. I wish you guys could see everything that's happening right now in sort of the chats and all of the different studios right now. It is pandemonium, right, on just the thinnest of margins that separated out our different champions from across the world. Sean.
I'm a huge fan of Anna Price is all I want to say. Like, just locked in, commenting, congratulating people. That's awesome. Congrats to the Price family.
Absolutely. And we have a comment from Jennifer. Yes, we will be able to send in kind of the individual scores. So absolutely, we'll be following up and sharing kind of the different rankings based on the all of the different players here.
And also, again, like we announced the top 20, but again, there are hundreds of people, thousands of people who geosteer around the world, and 350-ish, 300 plus came to play. So that's already the top 300 plus as far as we see it. And then among those, wherever you ranked, whether it's 1, 20, 100, 200, congratulations.
Absolutely. No, this has been fantastic. I mean, Sean, I really think this has been one of the most fun GWCs this year.
I've enjoyed it, man. I've enjoyed your company. I've enjoyed everyone's company behind the scenes. Thank you all. And thank you everybody who participated. Thank you to everybody who participated in the chat and made it fun. Jackie Palmer also came to play with the chat. We appreciate you. And look forward to seeing so many of you at conferences, either in Rio in just a couple of weeks' time, or back in the States or somewhere around the world. ADIPEC in Abu Dhabi. It's all coming up. This is a good, busy season, and there's going to be a lot of meetings coming up in the next few months.
Absolutely. And Sean, thank you for making it such an entertaining show as well. That was really fun bringing in all those different drinks. Actually, I think I might keep that Cobra Kai one. That one was not too bad.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
not the peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, no, that's literally the only bottle that hasn't been finished. Because we didn't even bother sending it behind the camera because we care too much about you back there.
Exactly.
It was not good.
Absolutely. Thank you again to our wonderful sponsors for supporting us, to all the competitors, to all of the supporters, both inside and outside of Roji, for continuing to help us move on and provide the GWC, right, year after year. It's now in its 7th inception. We'll have the eighth rendition coming in 2026, so we'll be excited to kind of announce that and bring in more people. More importantly, I think this is for us to give now. Congratulations, A-Rot. This is your champion trophy. We will be sending it over very shortly to be alongside the other trophy.
Yeah. And if you're going to be at ADIPEC in Abu Dhabi, then bring it along with you.
Could that be another follow-up interview?
It might be.
That we might have to find out.
Yeah, you're right around the corner.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, everyone. It's been a pleasure. Sean.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
We'll catch you guys on the next competition, and congratulations to all the phenomenal contestants and winners.
Yep.
We'll see. We'll see y'all next year.
2026. Let's go.
Whee!